Hello and welcome to Dice Friends. Here on the official Wizards of the Coast D&D channel, I am your lovely DM, Kathleen, and I apologize because I have a bit of a throat thing. So you'll probably see me drinking from my perfectly normal mug.
Nothing suspicious?
Yeah.
Good.
Word.
It's literally herbal tea. So I apologize if I'm a little bit croaky today. In other news, Twitch made a change that you now your sub month does not have to be consecutive. So if you sub for 5 months and then you go away and then you come back for 2 months, when you sub again, that's 7 months of subscription, cumulative, not all at once. So that means you might get a chance to re-notify, excuse me, to re-notify people of your subscription. So. But just keep in mind here that we're not going to be looking at chat, but if you are subscribed to the D&T channel, you might have a chance to do that, and I hope everybody enjoys that. Somebody in chat says that is the audio not quite in sync with the video?
I don't have a way of seeing that. It looks fine on my end, but what do you think, Paul? Paul's gonna look.
All right.
Just like a reminder.
All of us, clap just slightly out of sync with each other.
Yeah, that'll be helpful.
We did that last time, and
Yeah, I mean, we had the issue last time too, and a quick little refresh looks like it fixed the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a reminder that because we're not on our channel, we're not doing our own subs tonight. So if you want to do that re-notification tomorrow and overwhelm James at 9 a.m., go for it.
I think that's the best way to do it.
Give him a good way
Yeah.
to wake up in the morning.
Yeah. So,
James is very into metrics. He would probably actually enjoy that.
yeah, exactly. I think it would be all positive, no
Chat's
negatives.
saying it looks better.
Hooray!
Heck
Thanks
yeah.
for fixing that. Okay, so in other news, if you have missed the first 3 sessions of Bylaw and Order, do not despair. You can go check them out on the official Loading Ready Run YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/loadingreadyrun, or where fine podcasts are sold, aka iTunes, the Android podcast app.
All that fun
Whatever, I use Downcast. Whatever you use to get a podcast in your ears, you can find Bylaw and Order. You can either search for Bylaw and Order, which is the name on the screen down there, or you can just search for Loading Ready Run, and that will come up. Excuse me. I really apologize for any of the sniffling and throat clearing I do today. But yeah, I think that's about it. And as just a heads up, once we start the campaign proper, we are going to be putting you away, chat. So feel free to talk amongst yourselves, but we will not be able to see you. So if you have complaints, you are sending them into the ether. And if you have compliments, you are sending them into the ether. And if you just want to talk about unrelated things, also ether. We're not seeing any of it.
I mean, I'm reading all of them, but I'm ignoring some of it.
Yeah, Lee, I like to go back and watch the VOD and see and like to catch things. So you should leave secret cute messages.
Yeah, dear
for
Ben,
everyone.
minute 5, you're a cutie. Love Surge.
Dear Ben, minute 6. Well, not anymore. Let's do a show.
I'm not going to go back and watch all those comments, but feel free to leave them.
All right, I'm gonna push the button now. I hope you're done.
Hello and welcome to session 4 of Bylaw and Order. What a bop our theme is.
Yeah, does it slap? Or,
So weird. Serge and I were dancing the whole time. And then just like in sync, pointing at the camera. And it was great.
It
I'm happy
slaps
with
at
it.
2 points of slapping damage.
1d4 of slap. Yes.
With a +2 to hit. All right. So that the dancing out of the way.
For now.
Yeah. Well, who knows what's going on. When we last left our party, they had gathered 2 of the 10 guild signatures needed to ratify the Azoria Senate's new Unified Ravnican Sausage Standard, ASURSS number 2309-76-19. This new legislation, designed to replace the helplessly outdated and worryingly vague decamillennial encased meat grading standard, is, depending on who you ask, an attempt to set right more than 76 years of opportunism and anarchy in the cylindrical meat product industry, or an affront to connoisseurs of traditional Ravnican tooth sausage. And although our heroes haven't actually gotten any new signatures for the unified Ravnican sausage standard since they set a blistering and likely unsustainable pace of 2 in the first 45 minutes of session 1, they have discovered several other interesting things.
Wait, has it been that long since we've got a signature?
Yeah.
We've
Started
gone
with
through
two.
like 2 sessions with the. Oh man,
We
gotta.
started with 2. We haven't gotten any signed since.
Oh, we gotta
Hey,
pick it up.
This is perfect pace for academic work.
We're lining them up though. We've met with so many guilds, and we're gonna knock them off one by
I
one.
agree with Cam here. If academia taught me anything, you put it off until 90% of the time has passed, and then you panic and cram.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Perfect. So you've discovered several interesting things in the course of your adventure so far. First, that there is some instability in the high-end Ravnican flower market right now.
Yeah.
Second, that there's some sort of plot afoot involving a Golgari shaman and an experimental Izzet power generation device. And third, and most importantly, the most popular band in the entirety of the 6th district right now is a 9-piece Gruul outfit from the Rubble Belt called King Zykor and the Warboar. It is additionally relevant that one Ogavin Gobran, a member of the Orzhov Syndicate, is also a very big fan of the band, and unless he is returned safely into Syndicate hands before the Orzhov holiday of Duopsony, his sister, Prelate Sevmila Gobran, won't sign the unified Ravnican sausage standard on account of how she'll have just spent a long and awkward family dinner speaking to the foul-tempered ghost of their grandmother. Which is how our heroes came to find themselves standing in the north entrance of the 6th District's central bus station, along with several other 100 travelers.
I just
Speaking
thought
our
of that.
heroes.
Like family dinners and all of your horrible elderly like relatives just stick around and get
Yeah.
more intransigent.
Yep. Oh, you still aren't married yet. Kind of a scenario. When are you gonna settle down and have kids? So we're at the bus station.
But while we're at the bus station, why don't we introduce ourselves?
Hello, I'm Cameron, and I'm playing Avenir, a third-level Inquisitive rogue who works for the Azorius Senate in the Consumer Goods Inspection Agency.
Hello, I'm Ian, and I'll be playing Enor, also working for the Azorius, but in property abjugation.
I'm Ben, and I'm playing Nog, the goblin from the Boros Legion, and this is my dog, Valencia Borforth. Thank you. And together, we're kind of the muscle of the situation, keeping everybody safe. That's why we're along anyway.
Hi, I'm Serge, and I'm playing Molander. Molander is a level 3 Selesnya druid who just wants to get everyone back in touch with the roots of Ravnica, you know? Yeah.
Well, I feel like you'll have plenty of opportunities to do that. So,
Is that a pun because you're a druid? The roots of Ravnica?
And Selesnya is all about the tree.
I get it.
so
I don't, but go on.
I'll have lots of chances to teach you, man.
you're at the bus station.
We've been taking a lot of public transit lately.
Yeah. I've got... Is this the bus that leads out of town?
Oh, well, you're at a station, so there's buses coming into town, there's buses leaving town. In fact, hundreds of people are surrounding you because you're pretty near out to the arrivals wing, and so there's just a constant stream of people walking past you. What is the first thing one generally does at a bus station?
Buys tickets.
Look down,
Look down.
so as to avoid making eye contact with the Selesnya cultists.
Hey now.
Or really anyone for that matter.
Yeah,
Oh, so
avoiding urine.
So this is more like a Greyhound sort of situation, not like a public bus kind of a thing where our like bus passes. Because I know we have bus pass or transit passes.
Well, I mean, this is run by the 6th district, you know.
It's more of an off-black Cerberus.
So like what I'm getting at is like, do our passes that we
No,
have
you're
work?
gonna
We
need
need to
to buy
get
tickets.
Yes.
Yeah.
So okay,
But we
I
can
go.
say that you have asked and been given a fund from your office.
Oh,
I would hope so.
That's
yeah,
literally
travel
what I did.
expenses.
Yeah.
These are travel
Amazing.
expenses.
Amazing.
All right.
We
so,
should get a per diem.
Yeah.
So you're going to make your way to the tickets desk,
Yes.
I suppose?
I managed to negotiate 6 zibs a day. Wait, Xenos. The big ones.
Yeah.
6 big Zs.
Damn.
Wow.
So a little goblin is working at the tickets desk because it's going to work for me today. So, what do you want?
Hi, I need to get 4 humanoid tickets to Kroonog and 1 animal ticket.
Return or one way.
Return.
Oh, excellent. Now, you mentioned a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a working dog?
It is.
Oh, you'll need a permit then.
Oh,
The permit is free, but you'll need it, otherwise you'll have to ride with luggage.
where do I get a permit?
I give you the permit.
May I have a permit?
Thank you for asking. Yes, you may have a permit.
Thank you.
Nog just like looks at Mo and it's like bureaucracy, man.
He's so good at
He
it.
knows what he's doing. I guess I'm
Yeah.
glad he's the one taking charge.
I would have
it's like-
panicked.
It's like in Assassin's Creed where he just walks through a crowd, except that's me with paperwork.
He's just palming people
Yeah.
in the face.
All right, so the goblin grabs this huge stamp and is like, "Pop, pop, 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 pop," and then gives you 4 tickets.
12 Xenos.
All right. I take it out of my envelope.
All right.
I'll
Is
need
it
a
just like
rec-
loose
Yeah.
petty cash?
I guess so. They're
Like
like,
a Azorius seal on it. Yeah.
You said you wanted a receipt?
yes, please.
Chakung. The receipt is somehow more involved than the tickets. There you go.
Thank you. Put it in the envelope with all my
Yeah.
other expenses
Nice.
All right.
into the backpack.
So I'm picturing Molander with this like comically oversized bag. Because from what I understand, the Gruul area is basically the wilderness. Like all of Ravnica is a city, but this is like the forest city, but not like the nice forest city like the Selesnya, but like the wild forest
I
city.
feel like that's a matter of perspective, really.
Well, like, isn't the rubble belt where things have fallen over and not been reclaimed?
Oh.
Essentially, I have some box tech that
Ooh,
will explain it
okay.
later if you're not as familiar.
Yeah. So I've got like a tent and a bedroll, and I'm ready to go camping.
When does the ticket say we gotta hop on the bus?
Yeah.
Well, we'll say it's 9:30 in the morning because you're getting
Okay.
an early start. And it looks like the bus to Kornong leaves at 9:45.
Okay.
We
So-
should mosey.
Hustle.
Yeah.
All right. So you go into the bus station proper now that you've bought your tickets, and there's Selesnian people who are like, "Hello, have you heard the good word of Vitu Gazi?"
I'm gonna walk up and hug them.
and they're gonna give you a big
Hi.
hug. Hi.
Oh, and we do that really long hug where you have like the.
This is probably good for him. I mean, he's been away for so long.
God, I missed that. Okay.
Yeah, so after what you feel is an uncomfortably long hug, but is a tragically short one from
Yeah.
Lander,
I'm
very
like a
pleasantries.
quarter recharged right now.
Yeah. So it turns out all of these people are like your 9th cousins twice.
Oh,
removed.
totally. Yeah.
Do you all know each other's names?
Yes. So there's this amazing thing, man. The world spirit of the tree, V2, we're all connected. We're like a big family. Like, other than my big family, it's another big family.
Yeah, we're all like a big family together, man. Like a spiritual family, but
Yeah.
also, in some cases, a related family. But we have books you can check to make sure you're not too closely related.
It's important.
I'm sorry, I have to be somewhere.
Do you want to...
Yeah, I don't have any money.
No,
I don't carry cash on me.
we don't ask for money,
I-
Nog.
Nog and Valencia are already like walking.
I gotta go catch up to them, but it's so good to see you.
Oh, bye, dude.
Bye.
You guys want to buy any, like, sandwiches or newspapers or coffees or anything?
I hope there's a sausage stand.
I'll get a whatever the analog to like a cinnamon raisin bagel.
I have... we'll say that you can buy that for, like, 25 zibs because it's expensive at the train or at the bus station. Anybody else want to buy anything?
I'm gonna seek out one of those triangular Azorius blueberry pastries.
Also, we'll say 25 zibs.
Trail mix.
Yeah, like a scone.
Yeah, just with like a little
Equal-
like an equilateral triangle with
Yeah.
a round blueberry jam center, and it's
Right, exactly 3 blueberries.
Hey, Nog.
Yeah.
I've never really gone camping.
No.
I've heard a good travel food, but like, what's good travel food?
Well, you're in luck. I actually brought all of my own food.
Oh.
So I'm not gonna need to buy any, at least at the train station here. And my go-to food, Valencia's got like a little saddle kind of bag, and I open it up, and it's loose pretzels.
Do you have enough to share?
Absolutely, just reach in
Yeah.
and grab some.
I reach in and grab some. I have travel pretzels.
Yeah.
I start munching on a travel pretzel. It's
But I keep my
delicious.
secret stash of the good food in the other one. But I'm saving it. It's like a fish sandwich
Oh.
that I'm gonna eat on the train, and it's gonna stink up the joint.
Remind me later to give you a
Bus, yeah.
bite of my patented and brand new experimental Landjaeger sausages.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
They're made to spec.
Oh, okay. Like new spec or old spec?
What do you think?
I would assume new spec.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, let's
I think
continue on.
we should get on the train. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get
Oh,
going.
train or
Bus.
bus?
It's a bus.
Okay.
Right, the bus.
So
What's a Ravnica bus like?
you're
Yeah.
about to find out.
Yeah.
But first,
The bus.
you enter the departures area, and there's a north concourse and a south concourse. Do you guys know if you're going north or south?
No.
Single bead of sweat.
What do the tickets say?
They say north.
North.
All right, so you go down the north concourse, and then it splits again in two, because there's buses that go east and there's buses that go west. So the west, it says Cardinia Hills, Carlobag, Lapak, Kurnong, and a little pictogram of a mountain, a wine bottle, and an apple.
Oh.
And in the east, it says Porak, Arptalj, Canfanfar, and the 7th District.
Well, we're going to Kunong.
Yeah, Krunog, right?
Kunong.
Cornong?
Cornong is what my
Kunong.
notes say. But you know what?
Kunong.
It's a collaborative effort.
I just put the R in the wrong place.
Yeah. All right. So you go to the west. There's a big mechanical flipping sign, and eventually you see that the bus that you want is in Bay 14. So then you go to Bay 14. There's a bunch of people already there. Do you line up and wait behind them, or do you try to cut in line because you have Azorius stuff on?
I line up.
Yep.
That sounds very Azorius.
We're here as ambassadors of the Senate,
All right.
and there's an established order.
I'm certain there are other people who are commuting to this region as well.
Well, so eventually the bus pulls up. And by bus, I mean a 25-foot long covered carriage with bus seats in it, but it's pulled by a crovod, which is an enormous beast of burden with huge horns that come up like this. And the driver eventually, you get up to you, it says,
Tickets, please.
Move up to the front, hand over ticket,
You got a permit for that dog?
hand the permit.
Oh. Okay, get on the bus.
Looks like he was hoping to catch us on it.
there's not much excitement being a bus driver on this route. All right, so you've made it onto the bus. It will be about 4 hours before you reach Kurnong.
Hooray.
All right.
I pull out my fish sandwich.
Oh.
And I start chomping into it.
So, Nog, I feel like
Yeah.
your, your representation of, like, the Selesnya there was a little unfair. Like, we're not a cult.
I never said you were a cult.
Yeah, we're just trying to give back to Ravnica, because Ravnica has given us all so much.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you should swing by sometime. My family's very welcoming. I mean, I'm sure my mom makes a great fish sandwich.
Well, I mean, I felt that, you know, as somebody in the Boros military, that I'm already doing my part. And I don't think I necessarily have to pray to a tree every day to let it know that I'm doing my job and being a, you know, contributing member of society.
That's fair. I don't think of it as praying so much as just sharing. You know, sharing my
Oh, you want some of the
experiences.
sandwich?
Yeah.
Have some. Take a bite.
My mouth is now full of fish sandwich, so I stopped talking.
Have you had a chance to try out the new styluses that they got down in the records department?
No, I heard about them though. I heard they're 5% more ergonomic.
Smooth like silk.
Oh, I had to polish my nibs to get them to flow properly. I'm really excited for it.
I can only hope they'll get up to our department soon.
Oh. Well, maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
Who else is all on this bus?
Oh, there's several NPCs, but you'll have to describe them to me.
Well, last time I personally rode a Greyhound bus, I wound up next to a dude who spent the entire trip explaining to me how he had programmed his Texas Instrument calculator to generate stat blocks for goblins.
That's rad.
Is he on this bus?
I made the mistake of saying, "Oh yeah, I play D&D."
Oh no! Then you're locked in for the rest of the trip.
But like, I don't know. Maybe there's an ogre here who's explaining to me his novel.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Thank you for choosing people with hoarse voices.
So, yeah, and then what happens is that the romantic interest is actually a pair of sexy goblin twins, and they've both got huge boobs by goblin standards.
Interesting.
I'm listening.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, but of course they're only interested in the main hero, which is of course a very handsome and very intelligent, very erudite ogre such as myself.
Oh.
I mean, it's not like a Mary Sue or self-insert fanfic or anything like that, but you know.
He looks like you?
And well, of course he looks like me because you know a lot of people can't tell ogres apart, so I may as well just write what I know.
Oh.
It's truly people discriminate against ogres. People think we're all about the smashing, but you know what? We have inner lives, and we write poetry, and we write long novels about inner lives and poetry, but also smashing. So the point here is that the guy needs to smash 50 skulls in to release a genie from a skull of a wizard.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say he needs to smash 50 skulls in so he can smash 50 skulls in.
I mean, that's like, you know, also a big benefit is you get to smash 50 skulls.
I've never tried
You got a nice
smashing.
round head.
You don't want to smash.
Like, I've never smashed a skull, let alone ever thought about smashing 50. Where do you get these ideas from?
Oh, they just come naturally to me. I'm a creative person. I'm a writer.
Wow.
Yeah, you ever smash a watermelon?
No, I haven't smashed anything.
What about a grape by accident? You step on it.
I mean, maybe once.
Yeah, and you
I think I
didn't-
just apologized to it, though. I was like, oh no, grape, I'm so sorry.
You don't feel the satisfaction as the viscera leaves the skin.
Well, I was kind of
The
sticky at
life
the time, but
oozing from the eyes of the grape. No, just me.
I imagine the person sitting in front of me, or sitting in front of Avenir, is reclining his seat repeatedly, and like keeps hitting my knees.
it's just
And
like,
it's like, that's weird. Crunch, crunch. Oh, there we go.
I'm
Okay,
picturing like
fit.
a middle-aged Loxodon who doesn't quite fit in the chair and just keeps trying to recline to get more room and just hits you, but is old enough to not clue in that they might be inconveniencing you.
Yeah, and that's perfect. And then the person behind me is just taking off their shoes.
Is it the fish you're smelling or the shoes?
Person without shoes.
All Avenir hears through this is a high-pitched whine.
I'm just trying to find out what this person in front of me is listening to on some form of Is It audio player. They're just a little bit too loud to hear properly, but not quiet enough that I can't. Could you turn it up or turn it down?
Nonagon Infinity opens the door. Nonagon Infinity. Sorry, what? I'm listening to the new King's Icor and the Warbore. Yeah!
Ooh. No.
They turn it up. And then they don't talk to you anymore.
Ah, that's much better. Thank you.
But now you can hear very tinny music and occasionally make out instruments.
I'm really getting the vibe.
Meanwhile, that Loxodon sitting in front of you who keeps reclining his seat, you can tell that he's quite wealthy, and he appears to be going up here on vacation because he's got like binoculars and like a Cornong and District Regional Tourist Guide and stuff like that he's flipping through. And he's like,
Did you tell that distasteful youth
to turn up his music? What's wrong with you? And he baps you on this
Wow.
tourist guide and goes back to reading his book. Reclines his seat more somehow.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
I'm just gonna go back.
Sorry, I
and
can't hear you over
Excuse
the
me.
music. Crunch,
Excuse me.
crunch, crunch.
Excuse me.
I'm going to
Excuse
use the
me.
restaurant in the back of this bus.
Excuse me.
Restroom, not restaurant. Never get those
Yeah, I
two
was
mixed
gonna
up. By
say,
the way.
Excuse me.
that's not a buffet.
Are you
Excuse
going to
me.
use the bathroom?
Yes, I am.
Make me a
Excuse me.
dexterity check.
Oh goody.
Excuse me.
Oh dear.
That's
for
Avenir.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Excuse me. Excuse
Wait a
me.
minute. Hold on a second. I might be.
Excuse me.
That's 11.
I'm going to say that you are jostled, but manage not to foul yourself in any significant way.
What I'd
The
expect.
Cornong's at a fair, not the Cornong, the Crovat, what is pulling this thing? Sorry. The Crovod is at a fair clip. It's like running,
This
so
thing's
you're
like-
moving.
This thing's kind of like a dinosaur oxen.
It's if you play Magic the Gathering, it's what everybody's climbing onto and lumbering battlement. That's
Yeah.
a Crovod.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're big, and if they're running, they're very fast because
Yeah.
they're just big. So the bus is going a fair distance, but it's going probably probably 30 kilometers an hour, which is fast.
If you don't play Magic, how would you describe it? Because I've seen the art, but I don't quite know what I'm
I
thinking
would
of
describe
that
it as a large, I would say a 25-foot tall beast of burden with huge horns.
one. Ah.
Four-legged.
Yeah, four-legged.
Yep.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
I can't hear anything over that
Excuse me.
blasted music of the youth.
All right. Do you want to talk to any more NPCs? Anything like
Are
that?
there any children on the bus?
There's like 6 children at the front.
Oh, are they like they're on like a school trip or something?
No, they appear to just be like with their families and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
They're being kids.
Nog's sort of going up and down the aisle riding on Valencia because he doesn't really want to sit down anymore. And he kind of like walks by the kids and go, "Hey, kids!"
Please take your seat on the bus, says the driver.
Hey, mister,
What's up?
can we pet your dog?
Yeah, sure.
Yay!
Just make sure she gets to like sniff your hand first.
The kids all like rush Valencia and pat her because they're children and they're excited.
Valencia looks like shocked for a moment, but then is just like, "Oh, I'm getting patted, so this is all G."
Please sit down. Please take your seats on the bus, says the bus driver.
I have Nog like sits down like on the floor.
No, get out of the aisle. I will. Look, come on. That's not safety. We have to keep the aisles clear in case of an emergency. Krovog's trip occasionally. Come on. The emergency exits. You gotta keep the routes clear to the emergency exits.
Nog like scoffs a little bit and then goes, "All right, kids. Looks like the man is telling us that we can't have a good time."
Don't you work for the Boris?
Nog is trying to be cool with the youth. Hello, fellow kids. And he's like, anyways, stay in school and always
7.
fly.
I'm not allowed not to be in school. My mom will get mad at me.
Yeah, exactly. And you listen to mom. Also, always eat your vegetables, and someday you'll grow up to are you guys within a guild at all?
No, but my uncle joined the Simic and now he's a jellyfish.
Oh. Well,
My mom
stay in
said
school or
not
else
to
you'll stay in school or else you'll turn into a jellyfish.
Oh, hey, no, didn't you hear? If we're good, we get to go to Zonot 5 next year instead of stupid Cornong on vacation.
What's so wrong with Cornog?
Eh. And then the mom says, be quiet, Apple Fest is going to be a lot of fun.
Whoa, Apple Fest? Where's that going on?
Cornong!
Like right away? Can we maybe is there a general area? Guys, apparently there's an Apple Fest. That sounds pretty cool.
Excuse me. Excuse
Find
me.
out if there's going to be cider.
Is there gonna be cider?
I don't know, I'm 7.
Oh, right.
Who are you talking to? Leave my children alone.
Yeah.
Didn't the bus driver tell you to go take your seat?
Right, yes. I am a strange man talking to the kids with their dog.
Strange, heavily armed man.
Heavily armed. I'm gonna go sit down.
Did you find out if there's cider?
7-year-old.
That's going to be really good cider.
Excuse me.
Nog goes to sit down, and I guess how does Valencia sit on the bus? Does she have a seat?
No, but she's just kind of sitting underneath your seat, very
Okay.
She's being a good dog.
She is good, being a good dog.
And there's
She's a good
there's
dog.
luggage racks overhead, right?
Oh, are there? Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is less of a city bus and more of a commuter bus.
Right. So, how much luggage is above Nog?
I would say Nog's luggage, and are you sharing a seat with Melander? Are you on the same bench?
That was my idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nog's luggage and Melander's luggage are above you.
Would Nog be able to fit and lay down in the overhead compartment?
How tall are you?
Nog is
Goblin sized.
he's about 3'5".
I think more importantly, how thick are you?
Yeah.
He's 50 pounds.
Okay. Yeah, I believe that if you did I think if you took it's like a luggage rack, with nets and stuff. So I think if you took your luggage out and put it on your seat.
Yeah.
Or on the floor and let Valencia sit on your seat.
Yeah.
You could climb up over the seat and get into that luggage
This benefits
rack.
everybody because then I can lay down and Valencia gets a chair.
Yeah.
Can I do this?
Everybody.
Yeah, but I would like you to make me some sort of dexterity athletics check or something on a because the bus is going like this because it's being pulled by a large beast of burden. So it's going at a clip. There's a lot of bumping.
And Ben, I don't want to play your game for you, but I do want to tell you that there is a difference between can and may, especially when it's coming from a DM.
Yeah. I'm going to hop up on there, and you said acrobatics or athletics?
Give me an acrobatics check for climbing up.
Okay, so then that would be a 14.
A 14. All right, I'm going to say that given the fact that there's some significant movement and shaking and rattling and, things going on, and there's other people, you are able to get up onto the top of your chair without too much difficulty, but then you sort of like scramble up into the luggage rack. I will say ungracefully, but successfully. Like maybe your legs kick a little bit in the air.
Oh, perfect. That sounds about how Nog would get up there anyway. So.
Yeah. So you are successful, and then immediately you hear from the bus driver, "Sir, please refrain from climbing into the luggage." What universe do you think you are allowed to do that? I will pull this animal over.
Sorry.
That was how we walked to the rubble pit.
And I climb down and sit in my seat.
I had to put your bag back up for you?
I put my bag up. It's fine.
All the children, however, see what you're doing and now are trying to climb.
Yeah, revolution.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Their mother is super unhappy and is like, she's making eye contact at you, and she's like, "I'm gonna get you."
I'm cool. I'm hip with the kids.
They're 7.
Sweet.
And let's see how those kids do on their athletic check.
Uh-oh.
Oh, bad news! A child has fallen and is.
Like out of the bus?
No, out of the luggage rack and into the aisle.
Okay.
So that's the first one. So I think to say their first attempt goes poorly, and some kid wipes out and falls about 6 feet onto their brother.
Falling damage is serious.
Yeah. So now there are crying children on the bus.
Ah, whoops.
Avenir is trying to will himself unconscious.
I might attempt to cast silent image directly inside of my head.
So it's been an eventful bus ride. I think. Do you want to do any more messing around, or shall I resume with the box tag?
No, I mean, you could go for. I'm just trying to make this an exciting bus ride.
It's definitely been exciting. So, the plain of Ravnica is an ecumenopolis, which is a giant city. This means the vast majority of its citizens live, work, vacation, eat, exercise, play, die, and under certain circumstances become ghosts in one of the plane's many dense urban cores. They live metropolitan lives. For the average Ravnican, the question is not how will we eat, it's where should we eat. That said, every city has its suburbs. For example, the entire 6th district is generally considered to be one of the least important places on Ravnica, and is far removed from the intrigue and excitement of the 10th district. And unlike its neighbor, the 7th district, it holds none of the plane's major tourist attractions. The 6th district is known instead for producing extremely good apples. And while these apples are indeed enjoyed by everyone who lives on Ravnica, when they're compared to, say, the boundless knowledge available at the Ismeri Library, or the thrilling log flume rides at the Zonot 5 Splashorium, the apples just don't capture the imagination in the same way. And for the most part, the apples, and especially the finest of all these apples, are grown in the Cardinia Mountains of the 6th District's 1st Precinct. As the road starts to enter the foothills, you can see the endless sprawl of the city laid out behind you. And with every foot of elevation you gain, the buildings spread further and further apart, gradually becoming townhouses, duplexes, then single-family homes with neat yards and fences. And next, the yards start to get bigger, growing and elongating until they become fields. The flower beds fall away as you travel and are replaced by neatly tended orchards, grazing animals, and occasionally nothing. Large stretches of dense trees and bushes where the land is too steep to build or grow anything. And in every valley, the civilization rushes back in, filling the flats with homes and shops and sawmills and apple packing plants. But unlike Goshan Heights and North Yescu, where you are all from, the mountains and the trees tower over the city and shrink the horizon. You are in the outer suburbs of an outer suburb now. And after hours of watching orchards, farms, and ever-shrinking outposts of civilization pass by, squished by rude tourists and assailed by screaming children from up the aisle, you finally reach Kurnong. The bus lets you and your fellow travelers off in a plaza at what appears to be Kurnong's main and possibly only commercial street. Quaint wooden buildings line its sides, shaded by giant trees. And as soon as you've departed the bus, it performs a beleaguered 8-point turn and immediately begins its journey back. You are at the end of the line, literally.
Ooh.
So the first thing that happens is that kid's mother comes over to you and is like, "I want your precincted badge number."
For what?
because I am reporting you. You encourage my children to do very unsafe things on that bus.
I just did things and your kids followed suit. Really, to me, it just sounds like you didn't properly discipline them.
Children don't know any better.
I am... Oh, shoot. What is that guy's name? Sergeant Blesnort of the Boros 168th Garrison Mounted Forces Division. I usually work at the front desk.
I'll see it that you never get out of the dungeons or whatever the heck you do. That stupid Boros garrison. Come on, kids.
I just look at the rest of the group and I'm like, eh?
You lied to that woman.
I more so stretched the truth.
Oh.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry. Sometimes, Mo, it's okay to lie. And that's the thing that you need to know if you're going to survive in Ravnica.
Need to lie.
Can I get in on that?
What are you two doing?
Sock just looks over and goes, yeah, mine's the bad one. Here we go.
It's a little sparse out here is all.
Just cross the street, sit down, and are like, oh.
Well, we're here.
Yeah. So you're here.
Looking at that return ticket.
Yeah.
Good long look at that return ticket.
So the Loxodon tourist also gets off here, and then him and his wife go and walk down the main street. They know where they're going. They have nothing else to say to you.
Are there any brochures nearby for information about the Apple Fest?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, you are in Cournong. You're on the main street. The air here smells wet and crisp and green, which is, for all of you, except maybe Molander, incredibly unfamiliar and kind of weird. So on the left side of the plaza, because you're in sort of like the central plaza where the bus departs, there is a colorful wooden sign saying, "Welcome to Cournong, Apple Capital of Ravnica," a community announcement board, and a tourist information booth.
Ooh.
Well, we need to find out where.
We're looking for Imperator Andros.
Yeah.
With the field office.
Maybe we should go ask the information booth about where we'd find that.
All right.
Let's do that.
In
Okay.
the Azorius Regional Office.
All right. So, well, the tourist information booth is sort of essentially a shed with a window cut into the side, and there's like a flap that comes down. And there are posters of notable local attractions nailed to the outside. And in fact, Apple Fest is coming up in like a week.
Oh, in a week.
Yeah, sorry. But there's other things. And inside the tourist information booth is a Loxodon teenager who is reading some sort of science fiction book called Quantum Mechanics: Planck's Revenge.
Oh. Do they have a tusk piercing?
No, they have got very short tusks. So they're, by Loxodon standards, really young. Probably, I would say, no more than 25 or 30.
Hello.
What pamphlet do you want? And he just, he doesn't put his book down, but his, trunk comes out from underneath it, grabs some pamphlets, and just shoves them out the window.
I'm looking for the Azorius field office.
Oh, it's just down the street beside the cafe.
Thank you.
Do you have any good food recommendations?
He just hands the pamphlets to you.
Magnificent. I mean, we're all the way out here. We're getting people to pay our way. We might as well take advantage of it.
You guys want to read the community announcements while you're here?
Let's do that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I put a lot of work into this.
Yeah, we figured.
All right. So there's 3 community announcements. There's first one says Secret Gardens of the Cardinia Mountains. The 19th and 20th of Zavisker is 1 Xeno admission per person. The Cournong District Combat Gardening Association has declared its annual mulching season détente, which means members of the public have a rare opportunity to tour some of the finest private gardens in the first precinct, many of which are filled with explosive traps all other times of year. Bus departs daily at 9 a.m. Cost does not include lunch, overnight accommodations, or medical treatment if participants leave the main tour group. All funds raised go to the Cournong District Combat Gardening Association Widows Club.
What?
Combat
Gardening. Yeah.
Ninja garden.
It's like there are ravenous plants, and so you're going in and fighting them back?
Doesn't say. Just has some very pretty flowers on it.
Are we in Gruul territory now?
No, not yet.
Okay. We're just in some type of wild land where
You're-
combat gardening is an activity.
You're in the last bastion of civilization before you would hit the rubble belt.
Oh, okay.
Basically, because there's no bus or anything that's going to take you directly into the rubble belt.
Sure.
Right. So you're in the basically the last town on the line before the nothingness. But because this is the mountains and it's not as dense, and there's a lot of like orchards and farming around here, there are like people maintain gardens.
Sure,
You can still
okay.
do that. It's still a city, but like think of it as like the suburbs of a city,
Yep,
where
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
people have land, but you're still within city limits.
Yep.
It's the Ghibli Museum, effectively.
Yeah, you're in that part of town.
Hmm.
Or like I know we've both been to Australia. You know, all the little towns in the Dandenong Ranges,
Oh, okay.
because that's technically part of the Greater Melbourne municipal
Yeah,
area.
yeah. Okay, cool.
So, or just like the part of town near an airport.
Surrey.
Yeah, where it's like sorts of semi-rural but still part of town. Anyhow, Pirianda Cheese Fest. Sample more than 60 different cheeses from across Ravnica at the Pirianda Cheese Fest, including Yescu Quark, Undercity Blue, Dusk Mantle Stilton, and the rare Simic delicacy Jellyfish Epoisse. Evening entertainment courtesy of the 3rd District sensation, the Masaaki Guerrilla Theater Troupe. That's on the 14th of Grieve, which
We know
is
them.
next month. And then finally, Wanted. Male models, elf, Videlkin, Minotaur, Loxodon, and or human willing to model nude for sculpture project. Contact Nogrida, Plantax, erotic heirlooms.
Nog just shakes his head and is like, "Oh, every race except for mine." Okay.
1400 Cardinia Mountain Parkway, Cournong.
I wonder how well this pays. I haven't modeled nude since I took this gig.
If we had the time, I'd take you over.
Yeah.
All right.
You stand there, you get fed, you get some money.
Oh, I'm very used to public nudity.
Money.
All right. So
Ooh.
It's unsanctioned.
Erotic heirlooms is like perfect, by the way.
You don't even have to declare the taxes.
Nog is like not thrilled by the thought of any of this, and he's like, "Come on, let's go see Imperator Andros."
All right.
all right.
Head across, find the cafe, look
Yep.
across from the cafe.
That's exactly it. You see, this is the downtown strip of Cournong is literally just a strip.
What's the name of the cafe, by the way?
The cafe is the Cournong Cafe.
Track scans, yeah.
But there's, in addition to the cafe, there's Smarkhold's General Supplies, the Cournong Hardware Store, Gopnar's Book Emporium, and like 6 different art galleries and 4 hotels, 3 of which have signs advertising cider tasting tours, and one which is touting a rather ambitious dinner theater rendition of Implicit Maze, the musical.
What was the second word? Implicit
Maze.
It means there's corn.
Anyhow, do you want to check any of this out, or do you want to just go straight to Imperator Andros?
I'll go to see the Imperator right away.
I mean, I'll come with you. Like,
Yeah,
Nog is
business.
interested in Implicit Maze, the musical.
We're here for a job, but
But I'd be down to go to maybe a midnight or like a matinee or something.
Well, it's
another
like
day.
dinner theater, so
Yeah.
like it's for guests of the hotel. You get your dinner in the theater, and then they do the musical in front of you.
and we should
Is there audience participation? Does it say anywhere on it?
probably.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of let's say think
We've
Tony
got our
and
night
Tina's
plans.
wedding, except somebody gets to be Jace Balerin.
Oh,
we should also probably find out how much work we actually need to do before we get into too many flights of 7-year-old cider.
I may have misquoted that, to be honest, but
Well, we'll
Let's-
see. We'll
yeah.
see.
I don't know if we need to leave soon. So yeah, let's go talk to Andros and figure out what's going on.
All right, so
Ding, ding, ding.
this is it's a wooden building. The inside is also wooden. There's paneling everywhere, and the receptionist is this human woman who's watering a impressive geranium. You can tell that she's been tending this thing for years. It's like 4 feet high. It's exploding in red flowers. It's really nice.
Oh,
And the walls have these various sort of Azorius issued sun posters, but most of them are just faded by the sun. You recognize some of them as they're all quite old. There's people, they're encouraging people to join the Azorius Senate, to report all bylaw infractions, and to take public transit to cider tours. Hello, can I help you?
Hi, my name's Avenir. I'm here to, I have an appointment to meet the Imperator.
Oh, excellent. Yes. Just take a moment and sit there and maybe look through some of our magazines, and I'll let the Imperator know that you're here. Just give me one tickety-boo. So she goes into the only other room in this office.
Do you think those are 362nd printings of those banners? They look vintage.
I don't know. Look at the issue number. Oh, they're reprints. 363rd.
Yeah, you can tell by that 30-second sun flare off the main arc.
Do you understand anything about what they're saying, Zog? Nog.
Nog's like, meh, and is like looking through the magazines and
Do
seeing
you
what
want to
ones are
read
there.
Orchard Life? Decamillennial Beekeeper?
Yeah.
Or Recluse Quarterly?
Ooh, Reckless Quarterly sounds kind of interesting.
All right. Well,
Nog's like leafing through that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my head right up beside Nog so I
Or
can look
Death
at it
Touch
too.
Reach.
yeah, well, Recluse Quarterly is actually got a very nice article in it about a magical talking dog.
What's the dog's name?
Whatever the dog in Camp Nettleview is called, I can't remember right now.
Oh.
Wait, we were all on that show. I don't remember what the dog's name was. I'm gonna say Kevin.
It was so good. I miss Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it like appears to be some sort of fiction story.
Kevin the magical dog.
Holy
Look at
moly.
this dog, Valencia. Valencia's like stoked to see a dog on the on the page.
All right, so then the secretary comes back out and says, "Oh, Imperator Andros, we'll see you now. Go on in, you young man." And then it goes back to watering her geranium.
All right. I walk in to see the Imperator.
Do we follow? Is that like a we're
Yeah,
all
that's
yeah
fine.
okay yeah.
These are all friendly people. So Andros is a late middle-aged Loxodon, so if you have to guess, he'd be somewhere around 350. He rises to greet you and offers his trunk to shake your hand.
Ooh.
I follow the proper etiquette.
Excellent. He's a friendly guy. He says, "And what brings you all the way out here?"
Well, long story short, we are with the Consumer Goods Inspection Agency, and we're getting a new treaty signed. And for that, we need to get a signature from a member of the Gruul clans and a member of the Orzhov syndicate. The Orzhov syndicate contact. Her little brother ran off to join the Gruul clans, or hang out with the Gruul clans, and won't sign until we retrieve him. And we thought this would be a chance to kill two birds with one stone.
Okay, well, I mean, that makes sense because there are no Orzhov out here. So you want to go and meet with somebody in the Zykor clan?
Yes, we're here. We were told that the boy ran off to join or to hang out with a band, a musical band called King Zykor and the War Boar.
Oh yes, I'm quite familiar with the sonorous tones of King Zykor and the War Boar. This summer, we invited them to play Ciderfest. It was a means to celebrate 35 years of peace between our guilds. And I'm led to understand that they discovered there is quite an appetite for their particular interpretation of music.
I don't understand the draw to it really.
So, your goal is to go out, find King Zykor and the War Boar, retrieve this young member of the Orzhov, and get your agreement signed.
That's correct.
Excellent. Well, I do want to warn you about the Zykor clan. They are unique. We have an arrangement with them.
Oh,
You see, 35 years ago, there was what we call the Great Fire. And since the Great Fire, we have reached an arrangement where we don't try to reclaim any of the land that we lost, and they don't try to murder us in the night. So it's been a very good arrangement, as you can see, for the area, for tourism, for people not being murdered in the night. And it's not something I'm keen to disturb. So I can definitely find someone who can take you out into the rubble belt to find the Zykor clan and King Zykor and the War Boar. But as a warning to you, he looks you dead in the eye, Avenir. If you disturb the peace between our community and the Zykor clan, the complaint I will levy to your supervisors will demote you so far you'll need to spend years working back to the rank of junior male clerk.
oh, I don't think you have anything to worry about, sir.
He snorts at you. All right. Let's go meet Beppis.
Ooh, Beppis.
Writes down Beppis.
Is there a history with this name I don't know?
Fine. I'll tell you when you're older.
So Imperator Andros stands up and says, "Follow me," and walks you out the main street.
All right.
You head back to the plaza where the bus dropped you off, and you head over to the tourist information booth, where he knocks on the side of the building with his trunk. Tap, 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 tap. Nephew Beppis. And Beppis is like, "Pamphlets," but then realizes who he's heard and lowers the book and is like, "Hi, Dad, what do you want?" And somebody make me an insight roll here.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, I'll roll this as well. 13?
11.
Also 13.
16.
Right, so everybody else is going to be confused about this, but you think for a moment, because you're confused as why somebody's nephew and somebody's dad, and then you
Yep.
realize
Literally my first thought.
proper Loxodon names include titles that are only like rendered properly in the Loxodon language that recognize a combination of an individual status, family affiliation, and their role in the community, which means they are very detailed but are totally untranslatable into common. So if they talk around non-Loxodons, they use what they think might be the closest equivalent. So Beppis being called nephew means maybe loose affiliation child,
Right.
and dad, I think, is self-explanatory.
Father figure.
Father figure, not literally dad, but like probably dad of the community, held in very high esteem.
Like all of my aunties.
Yeah.
Regardless, given the name, I was expecting someone with darker skin and a bubblier personality.
Anyhow, Beppis is like, "Yeah, Dad, what do you want?" "Escort these men into the rubble belt. They need to track down King Zykor and the Warboar." How would I know where to go and see King Zykor and the Warboar in concert? He raises an eyebrow and makes this little like noise that comes from his
No,
sinuses.
another lie.
Yeah, you got it, Mo.
Wow.
You're catching on, buddy.
And Beppis makes this little like back, like these are not renderable. This is like
Yeah.
Loxodon talk. And then Beppis sort of like, Andros looks at Beppis and Beppis is like, "Okay, I'll just write my boss a note." It's like, "Oh, no need. I'll tell her you were seconded on official Senate business. Beppis, this is Avenir, Enor, Molander, Nog, and Valencia. Please take them." So Beppis is like, "Okay," packs up the tourist information booth, closes the window, locks it up, and he puts the key underneath a flower pot and says, "Okay, are you four ready to go, or do you need to buy supplies?"
I brought a bag.
I've got pretzels, an extra sandwich, and pajamas. So I think I'm good. And I got my bedroll, I guess, the regular rations of the
Yeah, I've got
military.
this like oversized backpack on and I'm ready.
Basically, I'm good, but if you have any local sausages you can recommend, I wouldn't say no.
The cafe sells sausages.
I'm gonna pop over and check.
All right, well, I have good news for you. They have locally sourced organic sausage in a bun for 40 zibs.
Ooh.
Or for 50 zibs, you can get it with tomatoes, sliced chili peppers, and mayonnaise. They also sell bonjour and tarts made with local fruit. Spoilers, the fruit is apples.
Apple tarts.
Well, it's not blueberries, but I'll have to do. I'll grab one of your spicy sausages and one of those pastries.
Oh, that'll be 65 zibs, please.
And it is.
This
these-
is very beautiful because I know, like, if you've ever traveled with Ian, you know that, like, he always stops in the duty-free area every single trip. So it's just like, it's very sweet to be like, "Hey, all right, we're all ready to go." It's like, "Just wait, I've got everything I need, but I first have to stop in and get the local selection."
There might be a deal.
Yeah.
Always check out the local delicacies.
Yeah.
You never know what you're missing out on. It doesn't travel well.
It was just very. I was like, yes, this is very you.
I'll get a not Nate in that case. I'll get I guess I'll try one of their apple tarts.
15 zibs.
Yeah, thanks.
Anybody else want to buy food?
Yeah, sure, I'll get an apple tart. That sounds nice.
Go.
Nog's good. He's gonna save his dollars for what I assume when we run into some sort of Gruul sausage person.
How is the apple tart?
The apple tarts are very good. They're very nice. The apples travel well, so like they are fresh and crispy and good, but they're like, I would say, on par with a very good apple tart from where you're from in the third precinct, in the 3rd district of the 6th precinct. But the sausage, this is a life-changing sausage. It's so good. You can taste how happy those pigs were before they got turned into a sausage.
Where was this place?
This is the Cornong Cafe on the main street of Cornong. So it's a mere 4 hours out of town. But it's good. It's a very, very good sausage. It's organic. It's locally sourced.
You should give it a good Welk review.
Absolutely.
So, okay, are you done eating sausages and tarts now?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Lead on, Beppis.
So Beppis has grabbed a bag himself and has like a little like pack and stuff like that. So, and he's like, okay, follow me. So they walk onto you walk all onto a dirt road that leads out of town. And after about 10 minutes of walking, the neatly tended orchards and vineyards and stuff around here start to give way to fields where horses and pegasus are grazing. And there are fences surrounding the fields, but they're fairly dilapidated, so you suspect that the main purpose is less about sort of the tiresome work of keeping horsey things in and bitey things out than just making the argument that Ravnican civilization hasn't completely given up yet. After 5 minutes of walking past these lovely fields and stuff like that, you find yourself at a crossroads. And both roads merge up ahead into a smaller and very rough dirt road that is leading directly into what is undeniably the rubble belt. The tall grasses of the field are just starting to look suspiciously just like grassland here. And there are a few small trees that sort of dot the landscape, but as you follow the road, you can see that they quickly turn into basically a full-on forest. This is the most wild place any of you have ever been. This is mind-blowing. You can't see houses, you can't see barns, you can't see buildings, and if you turn around because you are in the mountains, you can see the city proper, and it's just this gray smear on the horizon.
Avenir feels like he's going to fall into the sky.
That's probably...
Like,
Valencia's like stopping to pee on everything.
yeah, like
like
Avenir's,
everything.
Avenir's like, huh, I think this is agoraphobia.
Yeah.
It helps if you look at the ground.
Just eyes on the horizon.
Beppis is from here, so he's pretty nonplussed, but like he's used to seeing people from the city proper come out here for the first time and be like kind of weirded out. So, tourists come up here all the time. He's like patiently waiting for you guys to get your bearings. At the intersection of these roads, there is a large and weathered wooden sign that says, "Warning! You are now entering the 6th District Rubble Belt. Unauthorized entry is forbidden by a member of the Azoria Senate, Kurnang Regional Office," in large and sturdy black lettering. And painted over the top of that, rendered in what is hopefully just reddish-brown pigment, is a rough and drippy rendition of the Gruul clan's mark. And directly beside the sign is a merchant set up with a small and colorful tent decorated with bunting.
Good to see cooperation amongst the guilds.
Is it by any chance that merchant that we ran into earlier in the
Undercity?
Absolutely.
Oh,
This is
it's-
Argila. She is a tall, thin woman with pink hair that is piled high into 2 large buns over her head, and she has a scar going down her left eye. She's wearing the same thing she was wearing last time you saw her, which is a long black dress with orange details going up the sides.
I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, why does it say tent lady argue later? And I'm like, oh, it auto-corrected. Argila.
So she sort of looks at you and says, "Hello again."
Hey,
"Hi.
Do much business out here?
I sell to who I need to.
how much were those tents again?
100 Xenos."
That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Who are you selling to out here? It looks
Anyone who needs it.
fair enough.
Any chance you'd be willing to cut a deal?
Nope.
Well, maybe we'll come into... I mean, a tent would be pretty cool out here, I imagine, but I've always wanted to sleep under the stars.
It's a safe place for a long rest.
That's a good motto.
Thanks.
Well, if we get money, we'll know who to call.
Okay.
Could we make some sort of arrangement here, perhaps? Maybe bargain a bit. Maybe, should the tent fit our needs, perhaps you could receive some sort of an endorsement.
Don't think so.
Well, okay then.
I just sort of turn to Enor and I'm like, were you trying to find like a sponsorship for like our fellowship?
Just try to get a deal any way I can. Sometimes you can't roll for it, though.
Yeah, these are magical tents. They're imbued with wards of protection. Takes me a long time to make sure everyone is perfect. So I'm not particularly inclined to cut you a deal, particularly as you're not a repeat customer.
Do you get many repeat customers?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Every single one of my customers is a repeat customer.
That tells me something about your tents that maybe you're not saying.
Yes, it tells you that they keep you alive.
Well, hold on, time out. Like, Nox like, hold on. How can they, if they're repeat customers and they've already bought a tent, doesn't that imply that the tent like broke or something and they have to come back and buy another one, thereby saying that the tents aren't that great?
Single use.
Oh.
Oh.
Right.
Single-use tent.
What happens to the tent when it's done?
The magic is finished.
So it just becomes a tent?
It becomes a point at which you reflected upon how you were saved.
Oh. But for in non-metaphorical terms, do we still have a physical habitation thing?
They're magical tents. They disappear after one use, but they're guaranteed to keep you alive and safe at any circumstance whatsoever.
Okay, that makes sense. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if maybe it had wards or something. I don't really understand magic.
I'm beginning to request a spec sheet for these tents here
Yeah,
to find out exactly
Is
what's...
Beppis just like,
This is like, God.
Beppis, do you know
Beppis
this?
has pulled his book back out.
I make an 18 Arcana roll if there's any way to sort of like understand and communicate how that might work.
These are magical tents,
Yep.
and if you sleep in them, the magic will shield you, will basically make a bubble around you and nothing will be able to come in and out, and you will be able to take a long rest, 100% safe. But after the spell is over, which you start the spell by opening the tent after the spell.
Sure.
After the spell is over, and the tent and the spell disappear. But you've had a safe long rest.
Sure. Okay. So
I got about 30 Xenos to my name.
I got nothing. Anyway, it was a pleasure to meet you again.
yeah.
Have
I
fun.
like- hopefully we just keep running into each other. You know, it's good to see you.
I am where I need to be found.
Wow, that must be nice.
And she's like, bye, Beppis. You're like, see you later, Argila.
Oh.
You go into the rubble belt. All right. Now for some box text about the rubble belt.
Ooh.
Although a highly civilized place, Ravnica is not immune to disasters, either natural or is it? 35 years ago, the infamous Cardinia mountain wildfire swept through this land, wiping more than 200 kilometers of roads, orchards, and quiet mountain settlements off the map. The destruction was so horrific, thorough, and complete that very few of the survivors even wanted to try and rebuild. The area quickly fell into ruin and became one of the biggest rubble belts in all of Ravnica. And the Zykor Gruul clan, which had previously been regarded as a reoccurring menace in the Cardinia Mountains, were the only people interested in living among the smoldering remains. So none of the trees you will see here are thick or old, and every few hundred meters you pass blackened stone chimneys and overgrown cement foundations, marking the places where houses used to be. Every once in a while, one of these husks is surrounded by enormous dark lumps of melted glass.
Ooh.
But
Neat.
it's very beautiful now. You can hear birds chirping and animals chittering. And you walk along this path, and then the path sort of takes a turn and goes into much deeper, darker woods. And then there's like a little footpath along the side that doesn't go into the woods, or the deep, dark woods. It sort of stays in like these light woods. It says, and Beppa says to you, do you people want to take the long and safe route or the short route?
How often do you take the short route?
And more importantly, if we take the short route, are you still coming with us?
I'll come with you, but there's the long and safe route, and then there's the short route.
How much shorter is like the short route?
It's a lot shorter.
I mean,
Do we have anywhere we gotta be?
we've got kind of a time limit.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we gotta hustle.
I mean, I'd say we have like approximately 6 more adventures of this length.
Well, like, I could cast a spell and we could try and be sneaky through the short route. Maybe nothing bad will happen.
How bad is the short route?
Well, if we take the long and safe route, we don't go directly into the woods, which means that there's less animals to encounter and less obstacles in the way, because we'll sort of skirt around to get to the Zykor clan winter encampment.
Ah, more dice rolls, I see. Let's do the long and safe route, since we can abstract probably the travel time.
Well, there's an interesting part, which is if the short route is, this gets into weird thing like less than an hour, I can cast Pass Without Trace on us.
It will take more than an hour to get anywhere.
Well, not that short.
Yeah, we're still like, okay, the short route, we're talking like probably 3 to 4 hours, depending how well you people can walk through rough terrain, which I'm guessing, since you all city folk, is not that well. The long and safe route, we're going to be camping overnight. But I guarantee on the long and safe route, which is the route that we locals use, that you will probably not see anything too terrifying. I don't make any promises.
You're kind of like the leader of the bunch.
Long and safe, please.
All right.
Avenir's nothing if not a coward.
All right. Well, after a brief discussion, you look at the dark, scary, foreboding woods, and you turn right, and you do not go into them. You stay sort of, you break east towards Mount Cornong, and you avoid that main path, and you stick to the fringes of the rubble belt, basically. Like, you can see, you're sort of orbiting the whole thing, doing a gradual curve, and you can see in the distance there's probably still some fields and some orchards, but, you know, over that way there's more trees and stuff like that. So, and also it's quite flat here because you're still in the grassland, so the walking is easier, so it's less exhausting, so you're going to make better time.
Hooray.
You're going to follow this, you're going to walk through this grassland for probably about an hour. Everybody roll a d6.
Ooh, a d6.
1.
1.
Yep. 4.
5.
All right.
Thank you.
You two
Yeah.
see a hawk perched high in the trees watching the grasslands.
Neat.
Who rolled
Bird.
a 4?
That was I.
You see an enormous stinking pile of Notarog dung. And what did you get?
5.
Very faintly, Melander, in the very far distance,
Yes.
you can see a wild unicorn.
Oh.
You gain a point of inspiration.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah. We saw a bird.
Hey guys, look! And I take it it's gone.
It's gone. Like,
Wow.
basically, it was grazing and it just, like, tossed its head up and looked incredibly beautiful and majestic and then, like, went back into the grass. and
What did your elven eyes see?
A unicorn. And it was so beautiful.
They took the homeboys to laser tag.
I'd like to try
How
some
far
laser
away-
tag
how
when we
far
get
away
back to the
was it?
city.
Pretty far,
Oh,
just barely up the distance, and now it's gone.
How can you tell it was a unicorn? And it was just a
Sometimes-
horse.
Sometimes you just know.
What a unicorn looks like?
My heart knew.
Oh. All
I was
right.
too proud to be a horse. Like, yeah.
Like, yeah.
To be clear, it did have one horn, right?
Yeah?
Good. That is a unicorn.
Unlike those triceracorns.
Look, we haven't.
The pentacorns are the one you gotta worry about.
We are still attempting to verify the majority of the sighted animals within the bestiaria.
Fair.
The tricorn is still a valid animal. I'm holding out hope. Holding out hope.
So
Not my department.
after a few more hours of this, it's very pleasant. You see wild breast riders just grazing, and you see huge butterflies. It's really, really nice, honestly. Your head stops spinning as much, and you sort of start to appreciate how good the air smells out here. and the sky starts to streak with orange because it was already the afternoon by the time you got to Cornong. So you've been walking for probably another 4 hours.
Right.
Right. And Beppis says, how do you all feel about finding a spot to camp?
That sounds good.
All right, somebody make me a survival nature roll and see how good of a camping spot you're going to get.
Well, actually, this might be an interesting opportunity.
Yeah, sure.
I'll
I'll take a nature roll, raw.
Yeah,
Or
who?
survival.
You can raw dog a nature roll.
Well, hold on a second. If I may, who here has the best? Who here has the best survival skill?
It might be you.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I have +2.
I got
'Cause
a plus-
I mean, are you a wisdom-based class?
Yeah, okay. If not, I was going to. I have the ability to offer some guidance, but if I have the best skill here, I won't offer guidance because I can't guide myself.
While the four of you are looking around, Beppis has gone back to reading his book.
I got a 21.
Oh, perfect. Okay, well, Melander, Beppis is almost about to step in when these two are looking at wet boggy spots and
I'm like,
stuff
this is a
that.
good rock. This would be
Yeah.
a great pillow.
That Valencia then pees on, right? But then you're like, describe the camping spot you find to me.
Ooh, it's very nice. There's a little stream that goes by, and it's somewhat covered by the burnt-out husk of an old building that's been magnificently covered in greenery. So it offers some protection from the wind, and there's a water source, and it's nice and flat down here.
Oh, that's a great camping spot. And Beppis agrees with you. And you can see that there is, in fact, some indication that other people have camped here in previous times. So this is a well sort of known camping spot. So you find a nice camping spot and set up camp with very little troubles, but maybe some troubles. So you didn't buy Argila's tent, which would have magically had lots of room for everybody. Who has a tent?
I have a tent.
Well,
And you
I
have a
mean-
one-person tent then, since you're carrying it yourself.
Yes.
Maybe a
Not in the
two-person
Explorer
tent?
pack, unfortunately.
Yeah, it doesn't come in the Explorer pack.
Beppis looks at you and sets up his own individual tent.
I have a small tent, a bedroll, and some rations
Oh, fantastic. What do you guys have?
in my massively comically oversized bag that I've
Can
been
you-
carrying.
A bedroll,
bedroll.
rations.
Rations.
And overhead cover.
Ooh,
Oh,
little tarp.
Like a
No,
tarp.
no, the stuff that you mentioned.
Oh, the other stuff
Yeah.
that's in there, sure.
Nog has a bedroll and he brought like a pillow and a blanket and all that kind of jazz. And he also brought his pajamas and Valencia's special pajamas as well. And so we change into those behind a tree as he takes off his armor and stuff.
So that happens. Beppis says, do you want to eat dinner before you go to bed?
Oh yeah, no, I just I'm getting comfy. We're camping. And how often do I don't often get to, just sleep under the stars like this. So I want to get all ready. And he pulls out of one of the packs. He's got some Ravnican weenies and stuff I would say standard Boros kind of style.
Okay, so
ones.
very average sausage.
Yes, very average sausages. And also pulls out little sticks that you can use to roast. I heard these are really good for roasting weenies over a fire.
Excellent. Melander, have you ever set up a tent before in your life?
I'm sure in the Selesnya training, where we do a lot of nature stuff, maybe.
Okay, roll me a survival to see how well you set up your tent.
Just average, or am I disadvantaged here because you don't think I've
No.
done it before? Okay.
No, you
all
said
right.
you said maybe you've done it. So
It makes sense.
disadvantage.
It's a very Selesnya thing. I get a very average roll here, 14.
Your tent is fine.
Ooh. All right.
It gives you some difficulty at first, the little rods that you have to bend over go ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding, 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 but you eventually get them under control and get it nailed down. So do you guys want to roast some weenies then?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I brought 6.
I have a ration. It says I get rations, so I'm like, nice hiss.
I'll eat one of my cured sausages of my own design.
Excellent. Beppis is going to pull out some sausages and food that he brought, but his is all local and it's better than yours.
Can Valencia sort of go out to sort of fetch a bunch of dry wood and stuff like that to make a fire, or do we have some way of making a fire?
Oh yeah, you can make a fire.
Oh yeah.
As part of the survival
Don't
part.
worry,
Probably
yeah,
finding
I can
a
make a
fire.
fire.
Wait,
I'm going to assume that between the four of you and Beppis, who is from around here, that a fire can be made, especially since you're
And contained?
in a sheltered, wind-sheltered area. It is not raining, and you're in the grasslands. So there's lots of like twigs and kindling and dried grasses and
Hooray.
stuff. All right, so now it is a pleasant and quiet evening.
Ooh.
I drink tea.
So what are you all out here for? Because Dad said you had to come and see King Zykor and the Warbore. None of you look like music fans.
We're actually here to get something signed. It's Senate business.
Yep.
So, like, Beppis, have you chosen a guild yet?
My family, except for Dad, has a strong history of being guildless.
That's weird, because your name actually suggests that you might be good for Is It?
No, I'm okay. I would like to become a writer.
Oh, really? What's the book you're reading?
It's called Quantum Mechanics, Planck's Revenge. It's about a man who discovers that all things in life are made out of tiny particles that are trying to kill us.
Ooh.
Well, like, Selesnya will always welcome people whatever path, man, you know? Like,
Excuse
if you ever feel like you want to give back to Ravnica because it's given you everything, then you'll find a home there. Just let V2's embrace you.
Don't mind him.
Yeah, he's a
tries
little
this with
bit
everyone.
culty. It's kind of strange, honestly.
I mean, like, most of the, like, a lot of tourists come out here. Very few of them proselytize, and a lot of them are just rude, so at least he's polite about it.
So, do you do much writing, then?
I mean, I try to. I don't get a lot done during high season because it's just too busy. But there's really not much else to do out here, aside from see local music. All the kids go to see King Zykor and the Warbore play.
Yeah, what kind of music are they?
Like, there's 9 of them, and it's really hard to describe. Everything they do is different from everything else. They're like, yeah, they're just really into like cool, high energy music. It's sort of unlike anything else I've heard before, because most people are just like, you know, out there with like a lute or something like that, being like, oh, my darling, you are so beautiful, you have lovely hair. But King Zykor
I love
are
that
just
song.
like, yeah, Ilharg the Razeboar.
Why King Zykor? Do they have personas or?
I don't know. I mean, like, we see them play, but we don't like talk to them too much. They're the Zykor clan, so I assume it's something to do with that. I've never asked because I'm a little scared.
Oh,
If you've
fair
seen
enough.
them before, do you like know where we could find them when we get there? Because
Yeah, I'm literally taking you to where they are.
That's the whole plan.
not the clan, the band.
Yes.
They're-
Yeah, yeah. we're
Clan
going-
is the band. They're
The
all
clan-
in the band.
The clan is the clan. It's the Zykor clan.
Yeah.
And 9 members are in the band, and they're part of the Zykor clan. So we're going out to their winter encampment because this is where they
Oh.
stay in the winter months.
I assume
I
we're
guess when
going-
they're not on tour.
I assumed we were going to like a giant city, and like somewhere in there might have been a band, but I may have misunderstood.
Do you know what the rubble belt is?
Nah, man, I don't get out much.
Follow-up question, and this may seem idiotic. Is the King Zykor actually the king of the Zykor? Further follow-up question, is there a Warbore?
I think that's like the metaphorical warbore they talk about in their songs.
God, I hope so.
I see them play. We go out to like concerts in the woods. They come in when they played like Cider Fest, and then they like went on tour and they came and they did like a show in Coronong, and it was so good.
It's just important to ask sometimes. I once saw a Steely Dan show, and it was just this solemn Slim Akram just sitting there on stage with a guitar. It was weird.
Oh no, their shows are lit, my friend. They are so good. They're the best part about living out here. Actually, I kind of like living out here. You know, a lot of my friends have gone and moved off to like, you know, better, like bigger parts of the city. But I think I'm gonna stay out here in the Cardinia Mountains. Maybe not in Coronong, just because then like Dad's always around, and I don't feel like I can have too much independence. But like, it's nice.
It's quiet. I might retire here in a couple hundred years, depending on how the cider is.
That's what a lot of people do out here. You got to keep some young people around.
Yeah, I'll continue the conversation, but like I want to get a sense for what kind of music they are. I don't want to go.
They're a
into
rock
this.
and roll band.
Okay.
They're like a heavy rock band because like I don't know if heavy metal is on Ravnica, and they don't have like, is it powered instruments or anything like that, but they're like a rock and roll band. They have lots of different instruments.
Okay.
They do
2 drummers.
They have
Two
2
drummers.
drummers. That's like their big selling point. Everybody talks about how they have 2 drummers.
Yeah.
It's a novel innovation. There's like a guy who plays a sitar, there's a guy who plays a lute, there's a dulcimer, there's a harmonica.
They have a pyrotechnics person apparently because
Somebody
level
play like a
fires.
kalimba.
No kalimbas. There's an ocarina though.
Ooh.
They don't
Dulcimer, hammered or plucked?
plucked. So yeah, they're just like they're a rowdy rock and roll band, and they play songs that make you feel good, make you want to shake your booty or your trunk if you're a loxodon like me. And they're lots of fun, and for like we all maintain a healthy level of respect for them because they are from the Zykor Gruul clan, but they all seem to be fairly easygoing, nice people. They didn't try to light Kornong on fire when they came through, and then they did the thing, and they came back, and they were fine, and we all just sort of want to keep it being fine. So don't mess it up, okay? It's the only thing we got going for us out here entertainment-wise.
We're just here to take a kid home and get a thing signed. I mean, if we could catch a show, that'd be cool, because we've been hearing so much about them. But honestly, the sooner we get, like, all these signatures done, the sooner we all just get to, go our separate ways and relax a little bit. I think we'll earn I'm definitely going to take a vacation after this one.
Speaking of which, have you ever seen a blonde teenage human boy with them? His name is Ogavan.
Kind of looks like a stuck-up Orzhov kid, I imagine.
Maybe, actually. He's not a member of the band. Nobody in the band is, like, blonde. But when they were coming back after they finished their tour a couple of days ago, they definitely had a blonde kid with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just like a roadie?
I would say this is more of a boyfriend situation. At least that's what I'm led to believe. Typically I don't hold hands and kiss people that I'm not in a relationship with, but then again, I'm not a member of the Gruul clan, so I don't want to judge.
Huh.
I mean, Celestia seemed to be fairly liberal with this as well.
I knew it was coming.
What? Not everyone has to be monogamous, man. Like,
That's not what I was
you
implying.
can just love.
Yeah, loxodons aren't like that.
Sometimes you can love and not touch.
That's more what I was implying.
Love with your heart, not your hands.
Funnily enough, that's actually the name of an album of one of my favorite bands.
Oh, really? Which other bands do you like? Suddenly you've caught Beppus's attention. Beppus is a music fan.
I'm not necessarily that deep into the rock kind of music, but I do find myself frequently listening to more ethereal stuff. A lot of that's the latest album coming out from Eidolon of Cherry Blossoms.
Beppus is kind of like, right?
Yeah, I mean,
like, I'm a fan of soft rock occasionally.
Yeah. Well, realistically, I think it takes a little bit more of a trained ear that you'll probably ascertain when you get a little bit older. But, it's...
It's kind of the thing. You're not really going to enjoy Steely Dan until you're in your 400s or so.
Yeah, you've been around the block once or twice. Yeah. Now, I'm 32.
Wow, so am I, man.
Yeah. But 32 in Goblin.
Right. And Loxodons live to be about 450. Yeah. So he's like, I don't know, by I think a human equivalent, you're out there with a 16-year-old.
I tell him about my favorite artist, Burn Frost. Weird.
What kind of, that sounds like weird music.
Yeah, it's, noise, distortion.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Loudest experience I've ever had.
Neat. Beppus is far more into that. Anyhow.
I would say Eidolon of Cherry Blossoms is akin to, like, Purity Ring and Grimes.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Steely Dan is Steely Dan.
Yeah.
Steely Dan.
He exists across the entire multiverse simultaneously.
He transverse universes.
He happens to just be a big piece of metal in this
Praise
world.
be to Steely
When
Dan.
did Steely Dan get that Planeswalker spark? Who knows?
Have you heard his albums?
Steely Dan is actually just from Dominaria.
You have a very pleasant evening talking music and bands and stuff with Beppis, who is pretty okay for a 16-year-old.
I was gonna say he didn't. At first, he struck me as the like the dude with like the side bang is like, I don't want to be here. I'm gonna leave. It just seems like a kid who's just like, I'm doing my job because I have to.
Yeah, he's just been worn down by like lots of tourists, like the tourists that you encountered on your way here, being rude and entitled, and so he doesn't care anymore.
There's also
Yeah.
the fun thing of a person in the service industry who can hate you but still have a very pleasant conversation with you because that's their job.
Yeah, Beppis has not mastered that skill yet. He's too young.
This is all legitimate.
Yeah. So Beppis is kind of like, warming up to you guys, but eventually he's like, all right, it's getting dark, and we still have a lot more walking to do in the morning. Since we're not, I think that we should assign watches because it's the rubble belt and we're on the edge, but you never know.
Sure.
So
I'll volunteer either for I have the worst sight of anyone here because I think everyone else has dark vision.
Yeah.
Valencia is like trained to keep watch and stuff like that too. Like that's kind of her shtick.
okay, but
as,
she
like, a
just
dog.
has to sleep at some point. Though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like
She'll be like,
But even when she's sleeping, like because she's a dog, she's pretty like hyper attentive and stuff like that. So like.
Just in case anyone falls asleep, I'm going to cast an alarm spell around the 20-foot cube where we're actually sleeping around the fire.
oh, cool, that's useful.
It's also worth mentioning that as an elf, I only need 4 hours of trance-like sleep per night. So if I just go first and get that, I can stay watch with my night vision for the remainder of the night.
Okay,
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll take dawn
Sure.
since my sight is the worst.
Yeah.
And I imagine Avenir is used to getting up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym.
Okay.
To be seen going to the gym.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as long as I fall asleep now, I can take care of the rest, which is fine.
So
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
watch
take-
order is going to go.
I'll take the first. I'll take the first watch. I'm finishing
I
up
can do
this
the
cup
rest.
anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so 1 and 2.
All right, Nog and Valencia pass out.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
I'll take it.
All right,
Yep.
night, says Beppis.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Gotta
Nog,
nurse
falls, Nog and Valencia kind of curl up in their pajamas in the single bedroll.
All right.
It's like a Scooby-Doo and
let's
Shaggy situation.
Let's roll some dice here to see
Ooh.
what happens on your watch.
Gotta nurse this cider for the
So
next
you're
4
watching
hours.
for the first 4 hours, and you're
Yep.
watching for the second 4 hours?
Well, sure.
Ian, during the first hour, a raccoon saunters up to the campsite and begins sniffing around. Did you guys
Cool.
leave out any food?
No.
It sniffs around and leaves disappointedly.
There's there's still the pretzels.
Can I offer to feed it?
Oh, if,
The,
do you want to?
face that Cameron just made.
400 raccoons arrive shortly.
Actually, no, that is not something I would do. I would be very confused by what this being is, and I'm just going to let it leave.
Okay, it's on it shuffle cats its way into the woods.
Obviously, some kind of weird goblin subspecies
Yeah.
with its hands.
No relation.
A couple hours later, you see a rabbit, a beautiful, cute bunny, slowly and cautiously approach the fire, the smoldering remains of your fire, because it's mesmerized by the light.
As it approaches, I very quickly attempt to modify the spell to keep it from going off.
Oh, okay. It does. Do you need to roll for that, or can
No.
you just do it? Okay. In that case, rabbit comes into your campsite, sniffs around, and looks at you with its big, round, brown, bunny eyes, and then you hear nothing because they are silent. But with just this, you see an owl materialize out of the trees, grab the rabbit with its talons. You hear it. As the owl and the rabbit disappear back into the trees.
Neat.
Nature, you scary.
Awesome.
And then you hear a little snuffling and grunting in the distance, but nothing that is. It's very far away.
So that's what they do when we forget to feed them.
Melander,
Yeah.
you wake up after
Good night,
the 4
Enor.
hours.
Good night.
Some alone time, just like me and nature, man.
You hear some snuffling in the distance, but nothing comes close. Like nothing is coming near the camp.
Nature snuffling, good, good.
A couple hours pass without incident, and then a couple more hours pass without incident. Morning slowly begins to dawn, and you are menaced incredibly by buzzing insects
Oh,
because you're out of your tent. Everybody else who is not sleeping in a tent, raise your hands. There are bugs everywhere in the morning in the wilderness.
Give me a second.
Like all over us?
Oh yeah, they're landing on you. They're like
What kind of bugs?
like mosquitoes. And
Oh no!
gnats.
I like knock wakes up.
Occasionally butterflies that are just beginning their day. Flies, but like there are insects.
Valencia starts eating them, like licking them off of me as like Nog is like still sleeping.
This is irritating, but like everyone's going to be annoyed and it will wake you up.
Yeah.
Basically, like these little like fluttery feelings are going to start waking you up, but like you're not going to like take any damage. They're just mosquitoes.
Oh.
I have a nightmare about bugs landing on me.
And it turns out then bugs land on you.
Nog wakes up and goes, bah!
Beppis pokes his head out of his tent.
I'm imagining as a druid, I should have some type of way to deal with this.
With bugs?
I don't know, nature. I haven't found a solution yet, but I'm communing with nature. This is
Okay.
nature.
While you commune with nature, do you guys want to eat breakfast before we head out?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll say you prepare a quick and
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say,
satisfying breakfast.
cool.
Because everybody brought some rations, I assume.
Yeah.
Another land egger and piece of bread.
All right. You continue this very pleasant walk, very skirting the edges of the woods. But you just start to get sort of a little bit more into them now, but it's still you're on a well marked path. There's some little like every so often it like burned out buildings or like really big trees. There's like colorful pieces of metal that have been nailed out here, probably as like signals by the locals of like this is where to go. And then eventually you start heading into the woods and you cross a little creek on something that looks sort of like a suspiciously well-maintained wooden bridge in the rubble belt. But you can see far off in the distance, there's a huge ruins of something that looks sort of similar to the Kurnong town plaza, but bigger and with stone buildings, which is why some of them are still standing or standing-ish, right? Like walls, maybe the first floor of a two-story building. It's all been destroyed by the fire. You can't really see any trace of the fire now, though.
While we're walking, I'll ask Beppis about any points of etiquette for meeting with
Well, I mean, that's a good question.
the Zykor clan.
I mean, typically, we don't go out there unannounced. A sign is posted that there will be a concert, and those who wish to go to the concert will follow this path to to the Zykor winter encampment, and we will see the concert, and then we will leave because the concert has been put on, and then we respect that we are being invited to their territory. So I've never gone and knocked on the door, so to speak, because Dad told me that would be a bad idea, and I respect his authority.
We should have brought gifts.
I've got pretzels.
I have a pouch of tobacco.
What kind of gifts do you think they like?
Earnest ones, maybe?
Still got one of my sausages.
So, since you're within sight of the Zykor winter camp, you have found the Gruul and a little bit more box text.
Oh.
Under the terms of the original Guild Pact, the Gruul were supposed to be the wardens of Ravnica's wild places. But as the city's boundaries pressed ever outwards, those wild places soon became farmland, then houses, then strip malls, then suburbs, then cities, then undercities, then gentrified undercities, and soon the last untouched pieces of Ravnican wilderness were nothing more than scattered strips, left alone not because they were special or valued, but because the Azoria Senate's most recent version of the building code had introduced mandatory setbacks of 100 meters from major highways. The Gruul, understandably, were quite irritated by this turn of events. The Guild Pact, the magical contract by which all of Ravnican civilization was governed, said the Gruul were the guardians of the wilderness, which meant, at least according to some of the Gruul's more laterally minded members, that if there wasn't any wilderness left, they'd just have to make more, by any means necessary. The Gruul, fractured into lawless, loosely affiliated clans of raiders and barbarians, and the kind of people that typically join the Gruul clans are passionate about the outdoors, enjoy camping, and usually when you meet them, in the process of breaking your nose. So what's the plan? Says Beppis. Because I don't want to get any closer. There's two entrances. There's the main entrance, which I have never gone through, but I have seen it in the distance. And there's the side entrance where the stage is set up, which is normally where we go.
I think we
maybe
should
the
probably make our
stage.
presence, announce our presence.
Officially known. Yeah.
I think like the main entrance is a good call. 'Cause
Yes.
You don't want them to think that we're
We're, like,
sneaking
sneaking in.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like if we're here on business, we could be like, "Hey, what's up, friends? We're here on business. How's it
Presumably,
going?"
we're being watched. Some,
Ooh.
I would assume somebody would have noticed us by now.
Yeah, and I mean, realistically, we need that signature anyway. So if we start with that, maybe we can move on to meeting the band as well.
Ah. Yeah. I'm assuming we're all in like our official guild regalia as well.
You haven't told me you have it. You're not, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
so-
we had the chance to pack because like we changed out of it when we went to the Crisis,
Yeah.
but I assume we got back in.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of days.
Yeah.
We look official.
All right, who has the books? Who has the okay,
The
Avenir?
three of us all have one copy.
All right.
I am not in charge of that.
Okay. All right. Well, so we're going in the main entrance. Cool. Okay.
Like
Beppis
Beppis.
is
Yeah, if you feel
Beppis,
more comfortable,
if
you
you
can
can-
stand here, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've done your job, really.
Are you gonna wait for us and show us back, or like,
Yeah, I'll wait
Okay,
for you
cool.
and show you back.
cool? Here, you want a hug?
Nope. He sort of pushes you back with his trunk. I'm good.
All right. Thank you very much, Beppis.
My
Well,
four always gave me a hug if I was scared.
hopefully we won't be longer
Do
than.
you want a hug, Molander?
Yeah.
He grabs you. He puts his trunk around your shoulders, but he
Aw.
doesn't give you like an arm hug.
I like do the weird awkward side hug
He's
thing.
giving you a side hug with his trunk.
Yeah.
Give me that
Thanks.
locks it on
I
side
hope that
hug.
that helps, man.
I don't care, but it seems to make you feel better. So like whatever.
I think that was more for you, buddy.
Okay.
We'll get there.
So I guess I'll wait here. And so he sits down at the bridge outside of town, outside of their encampment. They're about 100 meters away, and he pulls out his book.
Hey, Avenir. Before we go in, like, if you're gonna be chatty with them, can I give you like a little pep talk?
Sure.
Because
Sure.
when
Molander.
I find back at home, like the spirit of V2 can really help me out. I'm going to put my hand on you, and I'm going to use the druid ability of guidance. And when you're talking to them ahead, just picture the spirit of Ravnica and all the positivity that it's given, and let those words speak through you, and they'll help.
Okay.
And now you should have a bonus D4 on your next roll action you take.
Hooray! Okay. So I am going to, I don't know, approach the front entrance.
Yeah.
Well, the path sort of leads to the side entrance because the path is leading to the where the band would play.
Right.
And you can see that there's like some little like patches of like they look sort of like plants that maybe are tended some times of years and not others. Looks sort of gardeny. And there's definitely like a wooden stage that's been built
Okay.
along like sort of the raggedy wall of like this this former plaza. Excuse me. And you can see that there's a hole in the wall, which is probably where the band would come out to do their concerts. And then if you fall, but that's one side. And then the front entrance, you walk through the woods and around the compound, and you can actually see the sort of cracked remains of what looks like it was a main road, because this used to be a town around here. And it just leads into a front entrance, which is flanked by like the remains of two guard towers. And are you walking up, or are you trying to like investigate, like look around a little bit first?
I'll walk up.
All right, well, there are two Gruul guards standing at the entrance of their encampment.
Okay.
And they are surprised, to say the least, to see you walk up to their encampment.
Hello.
What do you want? They like raise their spears at you.
Remember the spirit of Ravnica.
Hi. I'm here on Senate business. I need to get something signed. I was hoping to speak with the elder of your clan.
Senate? Like Andros?
Like 6th District Senate. But yes, we spoke with Andros on our way in.
They're a little confused. This has literally never happened before.
My name's Avenir.
They don't tell you their names. They look back and forth.
I try and look non-threatening and I wave.
Nogleg gives you the, hey.
They clearly trust Andros.
Andros said that it's pretty important that we let you know and ensure that we're not here to break any treaty or any pact or anything like that. It's just important that this document gets signatures from all the guilds, and we wanted to make sure that you guys were included because the Gruul are important.
He even sent his son to guide us. He's a big fan.
Is Beppis like able to be seen up the hill?
No, he's way back in the woods.
Dig.
So the guards talk among themselves for a second, and one of them leaves.
Are they both? What races?
They're
are
both
they?
human.
Oh,
they're both,
human. Okay.
They're your Gruul humans. We got like ratty clothes. Like they look like they've got like red and green body paint. They look, they got like mohawks and spiky hair. They look very young, by the way.
Yeah. I figured
they're
that
in their maybe late teens, early 20s.
I figured that we were in one of those. We're around one of those guilds that has the potential to have goblins in it. So that's one that I can interact with a little bit.
Well, these ones are humans.
Yeah.
So one of them leaves. The other one points his spear back and forth.
Yep.
And then the other one comes back with two enormous nidorogs, which are like huge dog creatures. And the dogs are like, well, they're not really dogs. They're like wolf size with big snouts and like hard like skin on their faces. And he has one on like they have enormous rope leashes around their necks because they're tamed to the Gruul.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're growling at you, and he says, "Any false moves, and you will not be in one piece anymore. Follow me." And so he leads you into the Gruul encampment.
Ooh.
So
Level 1 complete. Were we?
so you have a
Curious, were ya?
heavily armed escort.
Okay.
Do you guys want to look around and see what you see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no false moves, no sudden moves.
Yes.
I'm riding on Valencia for what it's worth.
Okay, they're keeping. There's 4 of them and 4 of you. Essentially, they came and made sure that there's as many of
Even.
them as there were of you. So you can see that this Gruul encampment is actually fairly organized by Gruul standards. There's a bunch of yurts that are set up.
Roughly how large? Like,
There's probably about like maybe 15 or 20 yurts. Some of them are very small. Some of them are really big. There's one really, really big one that's over back by the entrance to the stage area.
It's looking like about a city block size.
Yeah, it's
area.
about a city block size area. And there's some burnt trees in here, and then there's some new trees, and there's the crumbled remains of a fountain and stuff like that. And there's this was a brick plaza, and all the bricks are like black, and there's like trees and grass and wildflowers and just crap growing everywhere now. And you can see that there were buildings here, but now they're all covered in like graffiti, but also murals and stuff like that, and like beautiful drawings of like animals and mountains and stuff like that. Who wants to make me a perception check?
I guess we should all roll it, or is it?
Yeah, I mean, go for it.
4.
Wait, Melander, does that inspiration apply to the next roll no matter what it is?
I think.
Or can I just...
I think you
the
choose.
inspiration's his.
No, the guidance.
Oh, the
Guidance, sorry.
Once before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add that number to an ability check of your choice.
Okay, how long does the spell last?
It's concentration.
Oh.
Up to an hour. Oh, no,
okay.
sorry, I'm reading wrong. It's concentration.
All right, so you're gonna have to focus
Yeah, you
on
have to
this.
keep
Okay, I'm not making this roll then. I'm just
Okay.
like, remember the spirit. I thought we were going to do this a while ago,
Yeah,
but
this
I'll keep
tracks.
holding it.
Just a single D of sweat
Yeah.
going down Melander's head.
14.
14?
7.
7?
4.
Concentrating.
Yeah. Maybe, possibly, you think you might hear music coming from the right side of the encampment in that big tent. but you can't be sure because you're pretty stressed out right now. As you walk through, you can see Gruul heads begin to poke out of yurts. And you can see people going like, and everybody's very confused as to what you're doing here. But nobody is trying to currently kill you. So
Hooray.
things are looking up.
All right.
Yeah, I'll take it as a win.
Yeah. I certainly had combat spec'd out. So
Good job, team.
they take you to the tallest, but not the biggest yurt, but the tallest yurt, which is painted with intricate designs in red and green paint. And of course, because it's a yurt, it's a big round tent with one entrance. So they knock on the door, and one of the guards says, Chief Zoria, something unusual has happened. It's somebody that apparently knows Andros is here to talk to you to get something signed. And you hear, send them in a low, rumbly voice.
Chief Zorios?
Zoria.
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 So
Okay.
you come in, and in the center of the yurt, there's a fire and like some cooking utensils and stuff like that. And around the edges of the yurt, there's like animal skins and pillows and beds and like weapons and stuff like that. And you can see sitting like on what would be a Gruul like throne sort of thing is the chief. She's at the back. She is a very old centaur. She has gray hair.
Ooh.
And she's got scars all over her body, but particularly her front quarters and like up on her face all look like she's been burned very badly.
Sounds so cool.
And she's got face paint on and stuff like that. And she has two attendants with her. These one is a cyclops, and the other is an ogre.
Huh.
Large folks.
Very large.
Yeah.
They are very, very. This is why this yurt is so tall.
Ah, its occupants are all so tall.
And the Cyclops and the Ogre see you and stand, and they are both a Lady Cyclops and a Lady Ogre. And they're just
Dope.
like... And Zoria says, Quir, Jarn, ready, but do not attack. Why have you come here?
We have two pieces of business that we hope to conduct. The first is that the Azorius Senate's Consumer Goods Inspection Agency needs to have a document signed by a high-ranking member of the Gruul clan. It is the ASURSS sausage regulations.
Single bead of sweat. Many beads of sweat, probably.
2309-76-19, to be exact.
I imagine the spirit of Ravnica pervading all things. It's like The Fountain, the Aronofsky movie, The Fountain.
Zoria hasn't seen that one.
Oh, okay.
It's like a fountain of ground meat.
She's like, okay.
The second article of business is that we are looking for a young man by the name of Ogavan Gobrin. We believe he is traveling with King Zykor and the Warboar.
What does Ogavan look like?
He is a young blonde human.
Okay, that's Stu's boyfriend.
Oh. His sister would like to see him again for a family dinner.
Family is important.
Yeah.
His sister believes so, yes.
You have come here with respect, I assume.
Yes?
And what, if we sign your agreement, will it bring more visitors? Or will it bring a continuation of our peace?
We hope that this will ensure the continuation of this peace on these grounds for the foreseeable future.
Is this important to you?
It is.
Absolutely vital.
I do not understand or care at all how you make sausage. But to come here requires great bravery. Very few people cross our paths, and most who do pretend that we are stupid or foolish, or that they can sneak in and outsmart us. And I have respect for you because you have done that. So show that you respect our traditions as well. Because what is a Gruul day without playful combat? So if you can win this test of strength, I will gladly sign your agreement. Because I feel it will show your conviction and and it will make sure that you respect the strength of the Gruul clan. Because although we are peaceful, we have an agreement with Andros to keep this land amongst us, I do not want to be thought of as weak.
Avenir audibly swallows.
Nog raises his hand. Oh, great chief. When you say combat, are we talking like lethal, or are we talking like just, just a ceremonious bout?
Why not both? If you are truly committed, I'm sure it will be a fun and delightful ceremonious bout. And if it's lethal, I guess you weren't very committed then, were you?
I think she means we can die, but we shouldn't kill them.
Very smart. Who is this wise man amongst you?
Ooh, hi, I'm Olander.
Oh, God damn it.
Hello, Molander.
It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
Yay, I made a new friend today. Question. Are we all fighting, or do we nominate a champion?
Oh, I think you probably all get to fight.
Ooh, get to. Ooh, get to. That's.
Anyhow, let's not fight in my yurt. I quite like it. Everybody outside into the plaza. This will be fun.
Okay. Hold on. I'm going to stop concentrating there. Knock. I need you to listen to me. In the next fight, I need you to picture the power of Ravnica.
Yes.
Let it channel through
you.
Feel
the soul of
embrace
Ravnica.
of V2.
Of V2, yeah. I feel it.
Yes. Feel it within you.
I think about all the money my parents spent on my braces.
We may have to get punched a couple of times for this to turn out okay.
You know, I haven't gotten to actually rumble with anything in a little while. This might be a little bit of fun.
So everybody is escorted out of the tent, and Zoria says, "We're going to have a little fun here today." And then all of the people from the Gruul clan start coming out of these yurts, and they're all really young. Everybody except Zoria is young. So let that tell you what it does about maybe what happened around here.
Yeah.
And they're all like, woo! Battle, 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 and people start
Witness me.
Yeah, are we going
start
into the Thunderdome right here?
and drumming, and people
I
are
think
like,
we're probably going to have wrestling.
Yeah.
yeah.
4 men enter, 2
so-
men leave.
Everybody roll me some initiative, but this is all very civilized,
Right,
like Gruul
sure.
standards.
God, that's the third 3 today in a row. All right, well, I get 5 at least.
17.
All right.
Oh, should I
So-
roll for?
Well, let's wait for Kathleen. Yeah.
Avenir is a 17. Do. Sorry, I'm just pulling up my initiative tracker. What did you get, Enor?
14.
14. What did you get, Valencia?
Valencia got an 8.
8. What did you get, Nog?
Nog got a 5.
5. Is Nog riding Valencia?
No.
Okay.
Well, they were, but I would imagine once I got to the yurt, he probably hopped off.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
all right. Molander, what did you get?
9.
9. And I have very good news for you because you didn't sneak in and you didn't piss anybody off. You are not fighting Quir. You're fighting Jarn.
Is that the Cyclops?
No, that's the ogre.
Oh,
You do
okay.
not want to fight the Cyclops.
Yeah, Cyclopses are rough.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the whole clan starts clapping and chanting and going, test of strength, test of strength, test of strength, test of strength. Woo, 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 ah! And then you can see that a bunch of people, like 15 or 16 people, come out of that big tent where the music was playing, and some of them have lyres and dulcimers and stuff like that. Make me in it. Somebody, I know you're busy and you're sweating, you're getting very stressed out here, but somebody make me a perception check.
Ooh. 19.
There is a blonde human that is not a member of the Gruul because he is too pale with the band that just
Okay.
came out, and but he has like he's got like Gruul paint on him and stuff like that as well. So they're all like, yeah! And Zoria says, prove yourselves worthy of my signature. Let the fun begin! And she sort of stampedes with her 2 front hooves and looks very majestic and flashes her gray hair into the wind. Avenir, you have the first initiative. Jarn looks at you. She's, by the way, a huge female ogre. And she's just like, let's dance!
Does she have a weapon by it?
Yes, she does, actually. She has, what did I give her? She has a great club and a javelin.
Okay, I'm just trying to ascertain if we're wrestling or if we're fighting.
Yeah, I
This is a
assumed it was
fight.
going to
It
be
looks like it's a
unarmed.
fight.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
but-
also curious. Magic or no magic? Should we?
Depending on how you feel you want to
All
play
right.
I'm asking.
I'm not going to use magic. I'll let you.
Okay, well, we're going to go for non-lethal here.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I am going to use my insightful fighting,
Okay.
which I roll insight versus deception. So whoever gets higher.
Okay. What stat does deception check against?
Deception checks against charisma.
Oh, okay.
So insight roll 10.
Well, I got a 5, so because ogres are not terribly charismatic, so I think you win this round.
Okay, well that means I get to use my sneak attack for 1 minute.
Oh, fantastic.
I get a read on
Yeah,
what
their
was her
movement.
name?
Jarn.
Jarn.
I thought it said jam. Jam, 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 jam.
I'm assuming a 9 doesn't hit.
Absolutely not. Your sneak attack, your blade, sort of like tinks off her skin. You're going to have to hit me a little harder than that, small thing.
Okay.
Who's next?
Giant
Eeyore.
woman.
All right.
Magic it up.
Well, I will cast Shocking Grasp on myself and attempt to make a melee attack against the target.
You mean you're using shocking grass to attack? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you got to cast Shocking Grasp, and then it's a question of do you hit or not.
Okay.
Oh.
The spell just happens. 16 plus a melee attack. Boy, it's been a long time since I've done that.
Well, if it's a melee attack, it would be just your strength, isn't it?
Yeah. Where is my modifier there for strength? Okay, so it's just 16.
16 to hit?
Yes.
Yep, that's a hit.
Ooh. All right. Are they wearing armor made of metal?
No.
Okay.
They're wearing hide armor. Or she is wearing hide armor.
Then they will take 6 points of lightning damage. And they can't take reactions until the start of their next turn.
Okay.
Whoa. Very cool.
Jarn takes 66 points of lightning damage and says, nom, nom, nom. That's what I like.
Good, isn't it?
Hi, I think I love you.
Who among you is strong? She says. Because remember, this is a play fight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We all pointed.
Hey, why don't you pick on someone your own size?
I don't even what. Ogres are not very smart.
Yeah.
So she's like, huh?
Down here.
And then she's gonna go in and try and clobber you. Okay, so I'm showing a 19
That
on
hits.
a hit.
That indeed hits me.
All right, so
Big yikes.
Okay, I'm gonna try and hit you, which is going to hit. I'm gonna hit you a lot, by the way.
Bring it.
All right, so let's see.
I'm tough.
4 plus 7 is 11 plus 4. That will be 13 bludgeoning damage.
Ah!
Wham!
Jeez.
Nog like gets hit and goes. He's okay though.
Ah!
Not even bloodied.
Everybody cheers! Test of strength! Test of strength! Test of strength! Molander, it's your turn.
Can I, while I'm concentrating, can I use another cantrip or no?
I believe you.
No.
Okay. I'm gonna keep concentrating on this one though, so hopefully Nog's better attack can do a thing.
Okay.
So I'll just be like, remember, the strength of Ravnica is in you.
Alright.
That's it?
Well, I'm holding the spell. The payoff is coming soon.
All right. Valencia,
You have
it's
faith in
your
me.
go.
So Valencia sees Nog getting smacked and obviously goes to help her beloved master. I haven't used any of her cool abilities that you gave her yet, and I'm kind of curious if I want to do that. That actually seems pretty cool. Valencia is going to run up, I guess, to Jarn and bark ferociously using the battle bork
Okay.
ability that you gave. Makes a wisdom check with a DC of 15.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Wow. Well,
What does it do?
You'll see.
Jarn does not pass her wisdom save.
All right, so if you lose, you now get disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls against you or the specific ally you're actively protecting until end
All right.
combat.
So who's Valencia trying to attack? Protect you?
She's protecting me. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, Jarn has disadvantage to hit you or Valencia because
Yeah.
Valencia is in between the two of you, barking like mad.
Yeah.
Ooh,
All right.
good job, Valencia.
Good job. Nog,
Bork.
it's your turn.
All right. Nog like cracks his neck and goes, "That was pretty good. How about you try some of this?" And is that on a? Can that dice be used
It's
for
a skill
damage?
check. It's a skill check.
So nothing.
Nothing for damage.
Yeah.
But-
You could roll it as part of your to hit. I know you already rolled a pretty good to hit, but
Yeah.
I think when you make the roll, you have to decide if you want to do it at the same time.
Well, no, I guess I didn't
All right.
because I rolled it right away. So that would be a plus, or it's a 23.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
That's totally a hit. Roll me some damage.
All right.
The power of Ravnica flows within you.
Yeah, I'm using my longsword, I guess, in this scenario. So that's going to be plus 2, 11 damage.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
So I guess at the length, the thing I'm at, Nog sort of like jabs up with like the sword and kind of like slices the inner thigh, I guess, of her.
All right. That does hit. You draw some blood, and Jarn looks down at her leg, takes the blood, smears it across her chest, and goes, "Yeah!" And everybody gets really hyped up now.
Nog just sort of like sees her like start to scream, and he's like, let's start screaming along
Everybody
with
else
it.
scream louder. It's incredibly loud. All right, Avenir, it's your go. Everyone is screaming.
Screaming is a free action!
Ooh. That'd be a 25.
That's a hit.
Okay.
Roll me some damage.
I assume I'm doing this with like the scabbard on or something.
Nog just drew blood.
Jarn's not really pulling her punches so much, though.
Okay. I don't actually want to hurt her, but then again, that's probably optimistic.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I wouldn't worry.
11 points of damage.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
That's where you go like, oh, it's
Jarn's
cute that you
starting to
think
get
you
a
can
little
hurt
bit,
me.
a little bit injured because you just went and stabbed her in the back of the leg, and so she's just like, "Ah!" Enor, your go.
Oh, let's try. I'll cast an ensnaring strike on my quarterstaff and attempt to hit with that.
Okay.
This will go poorly, I'm sure. No, it won't. 21.
Wow, you
Ooh,
hit.
nice.
Good job.
Okay, so when that happens, first they're going to take some bludgeoning damage,
Okay.
which will be 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Law of Mage.
But,
Okay.
yes. By success, and a writhing mass of thorny vines appear at the point of impact, and the target must succeed on a strength saving throw,
Okay.
or be restrained by the magical vines until the spell ends.
Okay. I got a 25 on my strength
That's super good.
The ogre is just like, okay.
throw. She rips those vines off and they wither away magically.
Well,
I assume for like Azorius, that would be like runes. That would be like the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you see in
maybe
cards.
the runes shatter
Like
as
the
she just
detained
like
prison or something?
Yeah.
like she flexes her biceps and the runes fall away to like little pieces of glass.
Knox falling in love.
All right, so
That'd be one
that
of
was
the
a
things that you
cock
see and
die.
you're like, uh-oh.
All right, so Enor, since you were the last person to hit her, Jarn is going to try to hit you. Does a 13 hit you?
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no.
Okay, she's going to bludgeon you with her club.
Cool.
I'm gonna be honest with you. These hurt a lot.
Oh dear.
This is going to suck.
Oh dear. Take 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Cool.
What's that put you at?
11.
Oof.
Really?
I'm going to
Puts you
say
to
you
11,
probably
wow.
get thrown a little bit.
Wow.
I started with 24.
All right. Jarn, puny blue boy, wham, and just sends you flying. Melander, it's your go.
Apparently, Nog doesn't need too much of my help. But you know who does need my help now? Enor. I'm going to go over and heal Enor. I'm going to use
You're
some...
gonna do this.
No.
Enor. The spirits
Visualize the
around
tree.
Those teeth
the
out of
tree.
your mouth. Spit those extra teeth out and think about the spirit of Rat.
Remember the spirit of... No.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna
you're
run
gonna
over to
heal
Enor
him?
and be like, "You all right there, little buddy?
No.
Here, I'm gonna put my hands on you. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds. Regain a number of hit points equal to D8 plus your spellcaster modifier. This is my D8. Come on, big roll. That would be a 1 plus my spell. All right, you gain 3 hit points.
Cool.
Heals are cheating, says
Uh-oh.
Jarn.
Oh well.
Oh no, it's fine.
Oh.
Like it's just like they're just like
Yeah,
don't think about healing
It's
till
like
after.
wrestling talk.
yeah, exactly. All right, Valencia, you're barking.
Well, I mean, Valencia, seeing now that I assume Jarn has basically turned her back on Nog and
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of went after Enor. She's gonna leap up and try and bite Jarn right on the booty,
That sounds great.
right on the butt.
Try it. Roll to bite Jarn on her butt.
It's a crit.
Natural 20!
All right. What
The-
what happens? How badly does Jarn's butt get bitten?
Off.
Right. So I don't crit all that often. It's maximum damage. Is that
No,
how?
you roll double the number of random components.
Okay. So
Now I don't know
3.
anymore.
5. So 7 damage to the butt.
7 damage to the butt. All right. Jarn is starting to look a little bruised. Ah, my butt!
And Valencia's kind of like clamped on there, like "Grrr," like a mailman style.
People are laughing. It's quite fun. Everybody's having a great time.
Good. That's good.
Okay.
You can see Bethus is very curious about what's going on, and he is sort of like peering around the front gates now because there's been a lot of yelling and screaming and chanting coming from the encampment, and he was worried about you.
Yeah.
But still, people are like, there's a circle of people cheering, and it's your go, Nog.
Nog is going to kind of, in similar styles, Valencia is going to kind of like, I guess, Shadow of the Colossus this and like try and like climb up and like stab like a shoulder or
Sure.
something like that. Yeah. That 3. What is? How do I keep getting these 3s? Yeah. I mean that would be a 8.
That does not hit, and I'm going to say that you, in your attempt to Shadow of Colossus, you sort of like fail to climb.
Yeah, that's fair.
So you don't actually try to hit her. You're
He's
just
like,
like,
ba,
yeah,
ba,
no.
ba, ba.
Just like a cat at the kitchen door.
Avenir, it's your go.
Oh god.
Jarn has a dog on her butt, a goblin at her feet, and Enor just got probably a rib broken.
I'm over here.
All right. I'll say something witty.
Something witty!
16.
The crowd cheers
Yeah.
back. That's a hit.
Okay.
Witty,
Witty.
witty, witty, witty.
14.
14 damage.
Yeah.
Wow.
The
Yeah.
The
No, that's-
insightful fighting. I've just got like a read on her.
Yeah. So you just like get her like sort of like in a soft spot because her back's
Yeah,
turned, like right in the kidneys or something.
I'm going for some place that's going to be painful and not hopefully debilitating.
Right. Okay. Excellent. She takes some damage. Enor, your go.
Now let's try again with the lightning strike.
She's starting to look quite injured, by the
Good.
way.
So you're like, thanks for the heal. Or anything? Nope. Okay, goodbye.
I mean, I would say that
That's a
because it's
7.
3
That's
points,
not a
it's
hit.
barely noticeable that you did anything.
All right, you miss. Jarn is just like, "Arr!" and turns around and looks at the person who hit her most recently, because that's the kind of lady she is.
I'm coming home, Mama.
Okay, I've got an 18 showing on my dice, so I'm going to assume that since I have a +6 to hit, I'm going to deal you some damage. So
I'll allow it.
It's not that bad.
take 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
I assume she just like bonks him on the top of the head, and Avenir's like shoes go flat, and he falls over.
Yikes.
Yikes.
I had 13 hit points,
Oh!
so
Okay, at this point then, Avenir goes flat,
I'm an
and
office worker.
Yeah.
Zorian goes, enough! Jarn really only had one more hit in her anyhow. She's
Okay.
like bleeding and stuff like that. That's just like, you!
Hi.
Do you know how to heal?
Yeah.
Heal him!
Okay. Cure wounds. Ooh, 7 hit points.
Oh boy. Okay.
And it's one of my first level spells, and I have another one of those. 3 more hit points. So you
Okay.
should have 10 back right now.
And then like 2 other Gruul Clan members go over to Jarn and they start healing her and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Do you think? Oh, okay. I was gonna
Yeah,
offer
they
to heal
have
her
their
as
own
well.
healers.
Okay.
And now that you're up.
Did I dodge?
You did a really good job, buddy.
You did your best.
You did
bud.
your best.
I like reach down and like extend a hand to help you up, kind of a thing.
You took that like a champ.
I dodged.
It was great.
I saw everything in slow motion, and then there was a crunching noise.
Yeah, that was just the air passing you, man.
All right.
Crunchy air they got out here in the wild.
So Zoria comes over to you and says, "You are brave,
Thank you.
and I respect that. I will sign your sausage agreement, as long as you promise never to bring any of your sausages here."
Agreed. I pull out the ASURSS.
She grabs some of Jarn's blood and just like swipes it across.
That's so metal.
That's
Just
somehow
verify the-
duplicated.
yeah.
Drax. It's valid.
Thank you very much for your signature.
Thank you very much for the entertainment.
All right.
So-
Well,
What's his butt is over there?
yeah. Josh Groban? No. Ogden Goblin.
Josh Ame.
Yeah, so you go over there. By the way, everybody is starting to disperse now, and the
Okay.
chief and her attendants are going back into their yurt to do whatever the heck they do in there.
My
Wait for
lord.
other people to challenge them, I guess.
Avenir is surprised that his lower back hurts.
I thought I dodged that. Why am I sore?
Yeah.
And you can see the whole King Zykor band and several of their like romantic partners and hangers-on. So there's like 16 of them, and they're all hanging out. There are so many of them. Where are their names? Okay, here we are. So you can see a lot of them, but you see in the back, actually talking to Beppis, is a blonde human who's pale but has paint, and he's holding hands with his boyfriend, who's a tall Gruul human who is deeply tanned and has long curly hair and is very muscular and very attractive. And he's playing his boyfriend has a flute, and so he's the flute player.
Handsome couple.
Yeah. So anyhow, they're hanging out and they're talking to Beppis. What's up?
Oh, hey, Beppis.
Yeah. Hey, Beppis. Care to introduce us?
Oh yeah. Hey, that was cool. I didn't think any of you had that in you. I thought you were all gonna like crumple. Well, I guess one of you crumpled, but like aside from that, that was very neat.
I thought you were gonna hang out by the the trees. Why are you down here?
I thought so too, but then I heard chanting and I heard test of strength, and I've never seen anyone killed, and I don't think that's unreasonable that I should get to see something. It'll help me become a writer.
Trauma does, bring out creativity.
I should
Yeah.
introduce you to my friend Rin. She's a writer.
Oh, excellent. Your bravery inspired me, and I finally went and said hi to the King's Icor people. They're all very friendly. This is Stu. He's the lead singer. He plays the flute.
Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Avenir.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Stu, I'm Nog. This is my dog, Valencia.
That's cool. You don't see too many people go up against Jard in battle.
I
You
can
still
see
got all
why.
your teeth?
They're around.
Yeah, I have them in a bag.
Cool.
We'll work on that. Hey, I'm Mo.
You know her?
Neat.
We've heard a lot of good things about you, mainly from your fans.
You got some pretty passionate folks following you guys.
Yeah, I like to think that we're really doing some cool new things with music. And we're the Gruul clan and we want to destroy civilization, but we could also destroy civilization by spreading rad rock and roll.
Power to the people, man.
Yeah.
Who's this with you?
Oh, this is Ogavin. I met him while we were on tour. And Ogavin's like, yo, what's up?
Ogavin,
Wrote it down.
Gobrin?
Gobrin.
Dobrin.
Yes, that's me.
Your sister is looking for you. There's a family dinner that you're supposed to go to.
I mean, yeah, and that's fine. And he turns to his boyfriend. He's like, Stu, sweetie, this has been rad, and I love you, but I miss hot showers. So, casuals, and we'll hook up next time you're in town?
Oh no!
And
Mo's
it's
just
and it's like, yeah, whatever, man. Follow your freedom, spirit of the Raisebore and all that. Like, I can't tell you what's going on. And then they kiss and they're like, peace, see ya.
Hippies.
Man, it's
Oh,
so
that could have
nice
been so much worse.
It's so nice to see people communicate their feelings so openly like that.
I was going to suggest that he bring Stu to dinner.
To dinner. Oh.
Oh, no, I like Stu. I would like to continue to be in a relationship with him. And nobody deserves my grandmother.
Well, hey,
And I don't want to leave my sister to her alone.
Your sister seems nice.
we
No,
appreciate.
she's not.
We,
Don't lie to me.
What?
I was honestly just worried we were gonna have to fight people who weren't told not to kill us.
we
you
appreciate
could-
you coming along. This is actually helping out our cause quite a bit too.
Yeah, great. Buy my bus ticket on the way back. Thanks. Turns out Ogavin is quite insufferable.
Yo, we got a signature.
That's really cool. And and all that had to happen was Avenir had to almost die.
Almost.
Avenir died.
No. We're talking about lying. You totally dodged it.
I dodged it.
I raise my arm in a thumbs up, and you hear all the bones sliding against each other.
So you have successfully won a Gruul's test of strength and negotiated, without too much difficulty because Ogavin is quite spoiled, to bring Ogavin back to Ravnican civilization proper because he does like his sister and he doesn't like his grandmother. And that means that I'd say you've had a very successful session. So we're going to call it here for episode 4 of By Law and Order. Thank you so much, and please tune in next week.
Yo.
Yay. I feel like riding the bus back is not very exciting.
Yeah.
No,
that's
that's
fine.
totally fine.
Oh.
I did not expect that to go as well as it did.
No,
no,
Oh my
no.
god.
Good job not sneaking in. Do you know
Yeah.
how many combats were prepped for that?
Yeah.
I would assume.
I like
a
how
lot.
Ben's like, we go through the side entrance. We're like, but we're an
Not
official
my-
business.
No,
Oh.
I mean that was not like a we sneak in thing.
okay.
That was that's where the band is. So that's
Oh,
where all the
right,
band
sure,
is. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
sure.
it's like of us, I would say Nog is the least sneaky. so
Sure,
he wouldn't
sure,
suggest
sure.
the sneaky
Yeah,
approach.
yeah.
Yeah, so good job. By the way, Stu had no weapon, but the sitar player had the sitar player is going to use his sitar as a quarterstaff. The lute player is going to use this as a club. The lyre player is also going to use this as a
Oh,
club.
the whole we're
We
gonna
could have
fight
fought
the
the
whole
band.
band.
could have fought the band would have just.
Oh, those are my
It was
favorite
the
kind of
band
encounters.
and all of their partners. So there's 16 of them.
I'm
in there.
very curious about the drummers.
The drummers had hand drums and bongos,
Okay, which map to?
which map to clubs. As just bludgeoning weapons. They were in band practice, and so they all would have clubbed you with their instruments.
I love
Right.
And then restrained you and called the chief, who was going to be much less happy about it.
Yeah.
You know the thing you did at the end, like with the thumbs up. Have you seen that GIF with like of the like WWE with like the wrestling like referee that's like giving a thumbs up, but his like arm is like made of jello, and it just like
Oh yeah. It's
Like-
it's from a game.
yeah, it's from like a WWE game where
Yeah.
and he's just like the
It goes
render across-
backwards?
it goes like backwards and like slides out. It's like this, and it just
Yeah.
reminded me specifically of that.
I hope I wasn't irritating on the bus.
No,
No,
no.
So
I-
like, excuse me, that was hilarious. I like that a lot.
Oh, did somebody post that GIF in Lurk chat? Oh, there we go.
All right.
I love that the Gruul signed in blood. That's so cool.
I love the girl so much, and like the chief sounds awesome. Like this
She was
was
very
like
cool. So the story, if you're curious, the story behind there, she's the only old one because most of the Zypor clan were also wiped out in that fire.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, that scans.
And Andros, if you'd asked him about it, was actually like let them come into Kornong and hide from the fire. And since then, they've had an understanding.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
thanks for not upsetting that and
Hooray.
keeping the peace in that little corner of my imaginary world.
Everyone believes in regulations, as it turns out. It's the one thing that brings us together.
Yeah.
Much more of like a code. Regulations is a strong word, but it's just like a code of respect.
I guess
Yeah.
it depends on each like clan, right? Because it's like to the Gruul, it just means we're not gonna have to like keep fighting and possibly
Yeah.
get our clan wiped out. And to us, it means sweet dope sausages coming
Yes.
our way.
It's almost like there's some sort of a contract that allows us to function in a society.
Yeah.
So
Weird.
yeah. So next session we can pick up with maybe you guys dropping off Ogvin or something like that and getting that signature. But I thought that nobody needs another 15 minutes of bus riding. And more
If the mom was on
NPCs.
that bus again, she's like,
Yeah, just get on.
You. Yeah.
"You're cool with me throwing Bleznort under the bus a little bit." Bleznort
that
was
was
kind of a
great.
wad to us whenever
Yeah.
we were there anyway.
Lesnor was fine.
He'd appreciate that, I feel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bleznor would have given them your name.
Yeah.
To be fair.
I think that's sort of the
Turnabout
relationship
is
we
fair
have.
play.
Yeah. All right, I
right,
guess
that-
that's going to wrap it up for today, yeah?
That was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
I'm just reading my notes. I do have to remember that Bleznort has now had a complaint level.
Yeah,
Oh,
against him, yeah.
Because that'll happen. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. It was super fun today. And as a reminder, if you wanted to catch up on the previous 3 sessions, you can catch them on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/loadingreadyrun, which Heather has already put on the overlay for us, or wherever your fine podcasts are served. Just search for Loading Ready Run or Dice Friends or even Bylaw and Order. I hope everybody had a great time, and we'll be back at the
thank
same
you.
bat time, same bat channel next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
There's bats.